Chapter 1663. How dare you? Su Qin's expression changed as she screamed. The Su family head's expression also changed. He did not expect Su Lei to be so unyielding. Lu Ming's expression did not change. He was very close to Su Lei. If Su Lei really wanted to commit suicide, he had dozens of ways to save her. Therefore, he did not need to be in a hurry. He had to see Su Lei's mother first. Why wouldn't I dare? If anything happens to my mother, you can only get my corpse, Su Lei said unyieldingly with determination in her eyes. Go and bring her mother here. At this moment, the Su family had ordered. If Su Lei died, she would be useless. By then, the elites of the heavenly divine sect might leave in anger. They had to be careful. Someone went to the back of the palace. Soon, someone brought a middle-aged woman to the place. Lei, why did you come back? Me. The middle-aged woman shouted when she saw Su Lei. Shut up. Su Qin scolded. Let my mother come here. Su Lei shouted. The Su family head waved his hand and that person let go of Su Lei's mother. Anyway, this was the Su family. Lu Ming and the rest were surrounded by the Su family's experts. They could not escape. The middle-aged woman ran over and hugged Su Lei. Mother, are you okay? Su Lei kept her dagger and looked at the middle-aged woman. Lei, why did you come back? You ran out. As long as you return to the Dragon God Valley, they can't do anything to you. The middle-aged woman said with a sad face. Mother, I can't leave you behind. Su Lei said. The middle-aged woman's tears kept flowing. Suddenly, she ran to the Su family head and knelt down. She begged, Family head, please let Lei go. Lei is a direct descendant of the Su family. Please let her go. Su Lei's family was originally the direct descendant of the Su family. They had a high status. However, after Su Lei's father and grandfather died in battle, their status plummeted. Get up. You said it yourself. Su Lei is a direct descendant of the Su family. I asked her to do this for the Su family. Since she's a direct descendant of the Su family, what's a little sacrifice for the family? Moreover, I'm not trying to kill her. I'm giving her a chance. After all, she's a genius of the heavenly god sect. The Su family's patriarch said coldly. But, this way, if the other party doesn't want Lei will be ruined. Patriarch, I beg you, please let Lei go. Su Lei's mother continued to plead for mercy. Today, it's useless for you to beg anyone. At this moment, a cold voice sounded. Then, 3 figures stepped into the courtyard. The 3 youths were dressed in white robes. With one look, one could tell that they were disciples of the heavenly god sect. One of them had a red face, as if there was a raging fire burning in his body. This person should be Zheng Fei, who was poisoned by the fire lotus. The 3 of them took large strides forward. Zheng Fei's eyes were fixed on Su Lei as he shouted, All of you, hurry up and take down this girl. Let her help me neutralize the fire poison. Hurry up. Being poisoned by the fire poison, Zheng Fei felt as if he was being burned by fire. The pain was unbearable. Zheng Fei couldn't wait to have sex with Su Lei immediately. That's right. You're delaying such a small matter. If anything happens to my junior brother, don't expect us to help your Su family. When the time comes, we'll go to the other 3 families. Let's see how your Su family will get first place. Another genius of the heavenly god sect said coldly. The Su family's patriarch and Su Qin's face changed drastically. If the genius of the heavenly god sect went to help the other 3 families in anger, then their Su family would have no chance. Su Lei, you bitch. Hurry up and take senior brother Zheng Fei down to serve him. If you delay the important matter, not only you, but all of you will die. Su Qin screamed. Su Qin joined the heavenly god sect. However, she was just a small figure in the heavenly god sect. It wasn't easy for her to invite a few geniuses to help the Su family. She didn't want Su Lei to ruin it. Su Qin, don't think that we don't know what you're thinking. You're selfish. When the Su family gets first place and enters the ancestral land, you'll definitely go. In order to enter the ancestral land, you're going to sacrifice Mississippi. You're really vicious. Su Cha couldn't bear it anymore and shouted. How dare you talk to me like that? You're just a lowly maid. Slap her. Su Qin's face was cold. She moved and rushed toward Su Cha. She wanted to slap him. Su Qin's cultivation was at the 6th layer of the martial royal realm. Although Su Cha had some cultivation, he was only at the 2nd layer of the martial royal realm. There was no way he could dodge it. Just as Lu Ming was about to make a move, Su Lei rushed out and hit Su Qin's palm. Su Qin was forced to retreat. Su Lei's cultivation was similar to Su Qin's. However, Su Lei's spiritual body was much stronger than Su Qin's. It was a mid-level spiritual body. Her combat strength was far above Su Qin's. Su Lei, how dare you stop me? Let me tell you, you have no choice today. All of this is for the Su family. Su Qin screamed. No choice? How can that be? At this time, Lu Ming, who had been silent all this time, finally spoke. The others couldn't help but look at Lu Ming. Kid, what do you mean? Su Qin looked at Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled. Suddenly, a long spear condensed in his hand. Lu Ming swung his hand. The long spear shot toward Zheng Fei like lightning. This scene was too sudden. No one expected that Lu Ming would suddenly kill Zheng Fei. The long spear directly pierced through Zheng Fei's dantian. It destroyed Zheng Fei's spiritual spirit and nailed him to the ground. Zheng Fei's eyes were wide open. They were full of disbelief. Never in his wildest dreams did he expect that Lu Ming would suddenly attack him. Then, the light in Zheng Fei's eyes dimmed. There was no sign of life. The whole place was silent. Everyone was dumbfounded. They thought they were dreaming. Su Qin raised her trembling hand and pointed at Lu Ming. She was speechless for a while. Previously, Lu Ming had been standing there without saying a word. Su Qin almost forgot about Lu Ming. She never thought that Lu Ming would suddenly attack and kill Zheng Fei. Now, there's no need to choose. He's already a dead man. Lu Ming calmly said, How dare you kill senior brother Zheng Fei? You're courting death, you're courting death. Su Qin screamed hysterically. With Zheng Fei's death, her plan was in vain. Kid, you're courting death, kid? The remaining 2 disciples of the Heavenly God sect became enraged. Their figures emitted the auras of the 9th layer martial dominator realm. A sacred glow was emitted as the 2 geniuses of the Heavenly God sect charged toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming swung his hand, summoning 2 long spears, which pierced toward the 2 geniuses of the Heavenly God sect. The attacks and defenses of the 2 geniuses of the Celestial God sect were unable to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming's long spear. The 2 spears pierced into their dantian, destroying their spiritual divinities. Just like Zheng Fei, they were nailed to the ground. A one-hit kill. Chapter 1664. How dare you kill a genius of the Heavenly God sect? The Heavenly God sect will not let you off. The Su family head roared. His aura of a stage 3 sage to be pressed down on Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming stood there calmly. Even his clothes did not flutter. Damn it! How dare you kill a senior brother of the Heavenly God sect? Su Qin also roared crazily. Her plan, which she had painstakingly planned, was completely ruined. Don't forget that a genius of the Heavenly God sect died in the Su family. If the people of the Heavenly God sect know about this, who knows what they will think? Lu Ming said calmly. Su Qin, the Su family head, and the other members of the Su family were aghast. That's right. A genius of the Heavenly God sect died in the Su family. If the Heavenly God sect knew about this, the Su family would be implicated. If the Heavenly God sect was angry, the Su family would definitely be destroyed. Damn it! The Su family head, Su Qin, and the others were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Not only could they not tell anyone about this, but they also had to keep it a secret and help Lu Ming hide it. You will pay for this with your lives. All of you will die. Su Qin screamed, somewhat hysterical. She had paid a huge price to get the help of 3 geniuses of the Heavenly God sect. Her goal was to win the Su family so that she could enter the ancestral land and obtain the opportunity. But now, all of his plans were ruined by Lu Ming. She hated it. She hated Su Lei for not agreeing obediently. She hated Lu Ming for interfering. Kill them all. Su Qin yelled and gave the order. Kill! Kill! The experts of the Su family around the courtyard pounced on Lu Ming, Su Lei, and the others. These experts of the Su family were all high-level martial emperors. Some of them were even saged-to-be existences. Get lost! Lu Ming's eyes shone with a sharp light as he shouted. With this shout, Lu Ming not only used the divine sword art, but the sound wave also contained a terrifying amount of true essence. Those Su family experts who were charging towards Lu Ming and the others screamed one after another. Then, their bodies seemed to have been hit by a sledgehammer. They retreated at a speed faster than they had pounced, and blood gushed out of their mouths. How could this be? Su Qin and the others who had yet to make a move widened their eyes in disbelief. Lu Ming was too terrifying. With just a shout, dozens of Su clan experts, including a few half-saints, all vomited blood and retreated. What kind of cultivation was this? What kind of combat power? Su Lei, Su Cha, and Su Lei's mother were also stunned. Senior brother Lu Ming has become stronger again. Su Lei whispered. A year and a half ago, although Lu Ming's cultivation was strong, it was not so exaggerated. But now it was unfathomable. Lu Ming's gaze was like lightning. He looked at Su Qin and clenched his fist. Su Qin screamed and her body flew toward Lu Ming involuntarily. Lu Ming grabbed her by the neck and lifted her in the air. Father, father, save me! Su Qin screamed in horror. Let go of her! The Su family's patriarch roared and unleashed his full cultivation. The law of wind gathered and shrouded Lu Ming. Have you thought it through? Do you really want to fight with me? Lu Ming looked at the Su family's patriarch. Boom! Then, a terrifying aura erupted from Lu Ming's body. The terrifying law of chaos spread out and pressed towards the Su family's patriarch. The Su family's patriarch trembled as if he had been struck by lightning. He could not help but retreat and almost vomit blood. The gap between them was too big. In the Su family's patriarch's eyes, Lu Ming was like an undefeatable ancient beast. The Su family's patriarch was shocked. His mind was spinning rapidly. Suddenly, the Su family's patriarch withdrew his aura and cupped his fists at Lu Ming, saying, "This young master is truly a peerless genius. This Su had eyes but failed to see, please forgive me." Even Lu Ming was taken aback by this action. The Su family's patriarch was indeed worthy of being the patriarch of a family. He knew the principle of judging the situation. Today's matter will be treated as if it never happened. These three people from the heavenly divinity sect have never appeared in the Su family. Su Lei's position in the Su family will be the same as Qin Er's in the future. The Su family's patriarch continued to speak, trying his best to ease the relationship between Lu Ming and Su Lei. Hee, you sure change your attitude fast. Scram. Lu Ming's palm slapped Su Qin's face, sending her flying. Ah, you dare to hit me. Father, kill them, kill them. Su Qin screamed hysterically. Shut up. The Su family's patriarch scolded, shutting Su Qin's mouth. Lu Ming smiled faintly. If they were outside, he would have slapped Su Qin to death. However, this was Su Lei's family after all. She still had family members in the Su family. He couldn't go too far. He just needed to establish his authority. Young master, how should I address you? The Su family's patriarch smiled and cupped his fists politely. Lu Ming looked at the Su family's patriarch and said faintly, Lu Ming. Oh, it's brother Lu. You're Lu Ming? Lu Ming of the Dragon God Valley? The Su family's patriarch exclaimed in shock. The battle between Lu Ming and the Divine Prince 3 years ago had already spread across the Tsang state. Some of the bigger forces had heard of Lu Ming's name. Su Qin and the other experts of the Su family also widened their eyes in shock. It turned out that this person was Lu Ming. Was Lu Ming already so powerful? If the Dragon God Valley doesn't have a second Lu Ming, then it's me. Lu Ming said faintly. Oh, it's brother Lu Ming. I'm really blind. The real dragon is right in front of me, but I didn't recognize it. Brother Lu Ming, I have a presumptuous request. The Su family's patriarch smiled and called Lu Ming brother. It was impossible to tell that he was at loggerheads with Lu Ming just a moment ago. What's the matter? Lu Ming said, I would like to invite Brother Lu Ming to represent the Su family and participate in the competition between the 4 families. As long as Brother Lu Ming agrees, you can raise any conditions. The Su family's patriarch said. Lu Ming was stunned. He didn't expect that the Su family's patriarch would invite him to fight for the Su family. This was somewhat out of Lu Ming's expectation. Su Qin's eyes also lit up. If Lu Ming were to fight, the Su family would win for sure. It's not impossible for me to fight, but I have 2 conditions. Lu Ming said. Brother Lu Ming, feel free to say it. The Su family's patriarch was overjoyed and quickly said. First, I don't want to hear anyone humiliating Su Lei and her family in the Su family in the future. Lu Ming said. Don't worry about this. In the future, if anyone dares to humiliate Su Lei and her family in the Su family, I won't let them off easily, no matter who it is. The Su family's patriarch agreed without hesitation. Second, I will help the Su family get first place. The person who enters the ancestral land must be Su Lei. Lu Ming said. Impossible, this is impossible. Su Qin shouted. If Su Lei entered the ancestral land, it would have nothing to do with her. Naturally, she wouldn't agree. Chapter 1665. The Su family head's expression changed, and he did not answer for a while. What's wrong? Is this condition hard to agree to? Lu Ming said indifferently. Brother Lu Ming, can you change the condition? The Su family head said. No need to change it, I agree. At this moment, an old voice sounded, and in the depths of the Su family hall, an old man with snow-white hair stepped on the air. Saint! Lu Ming's eyes moved. This old man was a saint, but he was only at the initial success of the bright saint realm. Old ancestor! Seeing this old man, the Su family head quickly bowed. Greetings, old ancestor. Su Qin, the rest of the Su family, including Su Lei, Su Cha, and Su Lei's mother, all bowed respectfully. This old man was the pillar of the Su family, the only saint in the Su family. I agree to Brother Lu Ming's condition just now. After the Su family wins, let Su Lei enter the ancestral land. She is also a direct descendant of the Su family. If she can obtain the opportunity of the ancestral land, it will be the Su family's fortune. The Su family Saint Realm old ancestor said. Yes, old ancestor. The Su family head quickly nodded, not daring to disobey. Su Qin was extremely unwilling, but since the Su family old ancestor had spoken, she did not dare to say a word. She could only secretly grit her teeth. Also, don't take advantage of this old man's closed-door cultivation to do whatever you want. You are the Su family's patriarch. You should think for the entire Su family, not for your children. If that's the case, you don't need to be the patriarch anymore. The Su family old ancestor continued. The Su family head broke out in cold sweat and bowed in fear and trepidation, saying, Old ancestor, please forgive me, I will not dare to do it again. In the world of martial arts, everything was based on strength. In the Su family, a saint was the sky, and he could decide the family head's position with a single word. In front of the Su family old ancestor, the Su family head did not even dare to fart. This girl is very talented. Focus on training her in the future. She can reach the saint realm, understand? The patriarch of the Su family looked at Su Lei and let out a kind smile. Then, when he looked at the patriarch of the Su family, a sharp light flashed across his eyes. He was in seclusion all year round. Sometimes, he would be in seclusion for dozens of years. Therefore, he rarely asked about the Su family's matters. If he had not been alarmed by Lu Ming's aura and ended his seclusion, he would have almost lost a prodigy like Su Lei. With Su Lei's talent, there was hope for her to become a saint. It was extremely difficult for a family to give birth to such a genius, but the Su family's patriarch wanted to sacrifice Su Lei in exchange for an opportunity for his daughter. Su family's old ancestor's heart flashed with anger. He secretly planned. It seemed like he had to properly reorganize the Su family in the future. Little brother Lu Ming, please. This old man will order a banquet to thank little brother Lu Ming for taking action and protecting a prodigy for my Su clan. The Su family's old ancestor looked at Lu Ming and said politely, "You're welcome, please." Lu Ming smiled faintly and then stepped into the depths of the Su family with Su Lei and the others. As for the heavenly god sex prodigies, there would naturally be someone to deal with them. Moreover, the order was given that if anyone leaked out the news, they would be killed without mercy. After the banquet, Lu Ming temporarily stayed in the Su family. The competition between the four families would begin in 7 days. Since there was still some time before the Treasure of the Year assembly, Lu Ming was not in a hurry. He could also help the kind-hearted Su Lei while he was at it. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. The competition between the four families of Gusu City had officially begun. The location was at the center of Gusu City, on a huge square. In the middle of the square, a huge battle stage had already been built. On this day, the square was surrounded by a sea of people. The competition between the four families of Gusu City was a rare event in Gusu City. Naturally, Gusu City's martial artists would flock over. Spectator stands were built in the four directions of the square. Lu Ming and the Su family's people landed on the eastern spectator stand. Subsequently, the other three families' people landed on the other three spectator stands. Not long after, the competition officially began. The rules of the competition were very simple. Each family would send 6 young experts to the battle stage and participate in the team battle. In the end, the family that still had people on the battle stage would be the winner. On the Su family's side, including Lu Ming, they also chose 6 young people. Su Lei was also one of them. Other than Lu Ming, the strongest among them was only a 7th-layer martial royal realm cultivator. In the previous competitions, the Su family would invite some external help. However, this time, with Lu Ming, the Su family naturally did not need to invite external help. From all directions, figures rushed onto the battle stage one after another. There were exactly 6 people in each direction. As soon as the others jumped onto the battle stage, they began to size each other up. After that, there would be a chaotic battle. Naturally, they would have to observe their opponents well to know how to fight. Su Qi, your Su family actually did not have any external help this time? No, there is only one external help? Could it be that you have already given up on this competition? A loud laugh could be heard. In the south, a middle-aged man looked at the Su family's patriarch with a cold smile. Apart from that one person, the strongest among the rest is only a 7th-layer martial royal realm cultivator. It seems like the Su family has really given up. Let's eliminate the Su family first, and the 3 of us will fight it out. A voice could be heard in the west. The people who spoke were the patriarchs of the other 3 families. Like the Su family's patriarch, they were all in the 3rd layer of the half-saint realm with a cultivation of the Jar of the Rules. They could clearly see the cultivation of Su Lei and the others with their spiritual consciousness. The only exception was Lu Ming. Lu Ming had used his illusionary aura, so they could not see through Lu Ming's cultivation. However, they did not care too much about it. They did not believe that Lu Ming's cultivation was strong. Wait a minute, you'll be crying. The Su family's patriarch sneered, but did not say anything. It was useless to say anything now. They would soon know how powerful the Su family was. The patriarch has spoken. Let's eliminate the Su family first. In the fighting ring, the 6 people in the south sneered and looked at Lu Ming and the others. I agree. It's too complicated for 4 sides. Let's eliminate the weakest one first. The 6 people in the west also sneered. Afterward, the people from the 3 parties stepped out and closed in on Lu Ming and the rest. Powerful auras were released one by one. They were all high-level martial royal realm cultivators. Each party had a few 9th-layer martial royal realm cultivators. Among the 6 people of the Su family, except for Su Lei, the others turned pale. 7 days ago, Lu Ming had displayed his strength in the Su family. Only some of the higher-ups and stronger people of the Su family had participated. The young people did not participate, so they had no idea how powerful Lu Ming was. What should we do? One of the young men broke out in cold sweat. The other 3 families had external help, and each of them was much stronger than the Su families. The result was obvious even if the three families joined forces. Let's just eliminate them. Lu Ming smiled and walked toward the center of the fighting ring. You want to die? What should we do? What should we do? One of the young men of the Su family was at a loss. I think we should just watch. Chapter 1666. The other four youths of the Su family were dumbfounded. What did that mean? The youths of the other three families also looked at Lu Ming. What did the Su family mean? Letting one person walk to the center of the field while the other five watched from the edge of the fighting ring. What kind of tactic was that? Did they want Lu Ming to deal with the three of them alone? At this moment, the other three family leaders also frowned. They couldn't see through Lu Ming's cultivation, so they guessed that Lu Ming had practiced some mysterious concealment technique. They thought that no matter how strong Lu Ming's cultivation was, he wouldn't be that strong. But now, it seemed that something was wrong. They had a bad feeling in their hearts. Especially when they saw the Su family's patriarch's calm and composed expression, they felt that something was wrong. All of you, let's attack together. Lu Ming stood in the center of the fighting ring with his hands behind his back and said indifferently, What? Let's attack together? This kid is so arrogant. He is indeed arrogant. With so many of us, we wouldn't even be afraid of a half-saint. Is he a half-saint? Such a young half-saint can only be found in the 13 top sects, and there are very few of them. Now that the treasure meeting is about to begin, those experts are all preparing for it. Why would they participate in the competition of a few small families? Stop pretending to be mysterious. Let's attack together and kick him out of the fighting ring. Surprised and cold voices sounded. Then, the experts of the three families attacked together. A total of 18 people attacked Lu Ming together. All kinds of lights gathered together, and it was extremely terrifying. With so many experts attacking together, even a first-stage half-saint would have to retreat. Lu Ming didn't move. He just took a step forward. Bang! With one step, the fighting ring shook. 3 9 dragons roared and pounced on the experts of the three families. It was unstoppable and unstoppable, rushing over with a crushing momentum. The 18 young experts from the three great clans were sent flying backward like 18 rubber balls, vomiting mouthfuls of blood in the air. Bang! 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 The 18 youths fell off the fighting ring like dumplings, lying on the ground and wailing. Silence! The square fell into a dead silence. There was no sound at all. It was over. It ended just like that? Lu Ming had only taken a single step, and the competition had ended just like that. Many warriors of Gusu City had rushed here to watch a fierce battle. They had never imagined that this rare event of Gusu City would end just as it had begun. Some people didn't even see how it ended because they were distracted. The patriarchs of the other three families, as well as the other experts, were tongue-tied, unable to utter a single word. Haha, thank you for letting me win. This time, the ancestral land belongs to my Su family. The Su family's patriarch laughed out loud. Originally, he was quite depressed because Su Qin couldn't enter the ancestral land, but now he felt a lot better. The 4 great clans of Gusu City were constantly fighting against each other. When had he ever seen such an expression on the clan heads of the other 3 great clans? Beside the Su family's patriarch, Su Qin sighed. Su Lei was actually able to obtain Lu Ming's help. She was also helpless. She sighed in her heart. Su Lei's luck was too good. I didn't expect the Su family to invite such a powerful young genius this time. This person should be a genius from one of the 13 top sections. His cultivation must be in the sage-to-be realm. This time, the Su family is lucky. The people of the other clans could only talk about it. Many of the onlookers were also helpless. A grand event had ended just like that. Cut the crap. Now, let's go and open the ancestral land. The Su family's patriarch said. The ancestral land required the patriarchs of the 4 great clans to open it together. This was the rule of Gusu City for many years. Although the other 3 patriarchs were unwilling, they could only open it. They could only place their hopes on the next competition. Su Lei, let's go. The Su family's patriarch soared into the sky and looked at Su Lei. He then turned his gaze to Lu Ming and said, "Brother Lu, every time someone enters the ancestral land, there must be a guardian. Why don't you go in with Su Lei?" "All right, no problem." Lu Ming nodded. Lu Ming, Su Lei, and the other 4 patriarchs soared into the sky and flew towards the northern side of the square. Not far from the northern side of the square, there was a small hall. The crowd walked into the hall and saw a stone wall. There were various strange patterns carved on the stone wall. "Let's begin," the Su family's patriarch said. The other 3 patriarchs nodded. The 4 of them moved at the same time. Their palms slammed on the stone wall, and their true yuan madly rushed towards the stone wall. The stone wall emitted a dazzling light. Kacha! The stone wall suddenly cracked, and then a pitch-black vortex appeared. "Su Lei, go in. What kind of fortune you can obtain in the ancestral land will depend on your luck," the Su family's patriarch said. Su Lei nodded and stepped into the vortex with Lu Ming. The space changed. In the next moment, Lu Ming found that they appeared in an open space. The open space was very big, but it was surrounded by a vast expanse of whiteness. In front of them, there was a ball of light suspended in the air like a sun. "Is that the ancestor's soul?" Su Lei whispered. Then she respectfully knelt down, facing the ball of light, and kowtowed. Lu Ming stood beside Su Lei, looking at the ball of light with a thoughtful expression. In the past few days, he had heard Su Lei mention the ancestral land. Su Lei didn't know much. She only knew that every time someone from the 4 patriarchs came here, they had to kowtow to the ball of light. Then, they would enter the ball of light to obtain the fortune. Sometimes, saint weapons would fly out from the ball of light. Other times, there would be pills, cultivation manuals, or other treasures. As for what one could obtain, it all depended on luck. After Su Lei kowtowed, she walked towards the ball of light. When she was a certain distance away, the ball of light shot down a beam of light, landing on Su Lei's body. Su Lei's body trembled slightly, as if she was under great pressure, but she gritted her teeth and endured. Lu Ming was constantly paying attention to Su Lei. If anything happened to Su Lei, he would immediately rescue her. In the past, there were disciples of the 4 patriarchs who couldn't withstand the pressure of the beam of light and died here. Therefore, when they entered later, there would be someone following them to protect them. Su Lei gritted her teeth. Her delicate little face revealed a stubborn and determined expression as she continued to walk forward. Step by step, Su Lei seemed to be walking with great difficulty. Soon, her body was drenched in sweat. Her face was dripping with sweat. However, Su Lei didn't give up. She continued to grit her teeth and walked forward resolutely. Soon, Su Lei's petite body trembled more and more violently. Blood even seeped out of her skin. Lu Ming didn't make a move. He knew that this was a test for Su Lei. As long as Su Lei endured it, she would undergo a transformation. Chapter 1667. Under Lu Ming's gaze, Su Lei continued to move forward. Suddenly, a dragon's roar came from Su Lei's body. The shadow of a true dragon appeared on Su Lei's body, emitting a shocking chill. Mystical dragon physique. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. Suddenly, a dragon's roar resounded from within the ball of resplendent light. After that, the ball of light flew towards Su Lei and enveloped her within. Slowly, the light turned into a true dragon. The appearance of the true dragon was very similar to the true void that appeared on Su Lei's body. Mystical dragon. The true dragon formed by the light wrapped around Su Lei. Su Lei seemed to feel something and sat down cross-legged with her eyes closed. She looked solemn. In front, a bracelet flew over and floated above Su Lei's head. Inheritance, storage bracelet. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and a smile appeared on his face. Then, he took a step forward and appeared at the location of the ball of light. Over there, a snow-white skeleton was lying on the ground. The skeleton of a true dragon. As expected, the smile on Lu Ming's face became even wider. It turned out that a powerful true dragon had fallen in the so-called ancestral land. Although the true dragon had fallen, its soul had not been extinguished. Therefore, every time a disciple of the Su family came, the true dragon's soul would bestow a treasure to them. The bracelet floating above Su Lei's head was the true dragon's storage bracelet. The function of the storage bracelet was the same as the storage ring. It contained space and was a treasure for storing items. Moreover, this true dragon was the mystical Yin dragon, which was completely compatible with Su Lei's body. Therefore, when Su Lei came in this time, the true dragon's soul directly passed the inheritance to her. From then on, the disciples of the four great families would not be able to get any benefits when they came in again. Lu Ming thought about it and understood everything. This was Su Lei's opportunity. However, this dragon bone was very useful to Lu Ming. This mystical Yin dragon was definitely above the bright saint realm when it was alive. It was at least above the eminent saint realm. Since Lu Ming had come across it, he would not miss it. With a wave of his hand, Zhang Xian stowed the dragon bone away before sitting down not too far away from Su Lei and waiting patiently. From the looks of it, the succession process would not end anytime soon. The shadow of the mystical Yin dragon coiled around Su Lei's body as the light continued to seep into her body. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. At this time, the true dragon coiling around Su Lei's body had completely disappeared. Su Lei's body emitted a terrifying cold qi, and a river of profound Yin water coiled around her body. My flesh has evolved into a superior earth spiritual body, which is extremely close to the heaven spiritual body. My cultivation has also reached the peak 6th layer martial dominator realm. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with astonishment. Su Lei's body constitution used to be a medium earth spiritual body, but now it was a superior earth spiritual body. She was very close to a heavenly spiritual body. The mysterious Yin river was extremely powerful. An ordinary LV6 or even LV7 martial royal realm cultivator would be frozen to death. On the other hand, Su Lei's cultivation had previously been at the early stage of the 6th layer martial dominator realm. Although the improvement was not significant, her cultivation would improve tremendously in the future. Lu Ming let out a smile. He was happy for this kind little girl. An earth-shattering dragon roar resounded in the air. A beam of light shot out from Su Lei's body and pierced into the heavens. The entire region started to shake violently. Lu Ming knew that the succession process had entered the final stage. The spirit of the mystical Yin dragon was about to be destroyed. However, it was her own choice. Outside the ancestral ground, the patriarchs of the four clans and the others were waiting. What's going on? Why is it taking so long to enter the ancestral ground? It's been half a month. Previously, the longest it took for the others to come out of the ancestral ground was 3 days. Why has it been half a month this time? Don't tell me they have all died in there. Many people guessed. The patriarchs of the four clans wore unpleasant expressions. Suddenly, a heaven-shaking dragon roar came from the ancestral land. Then, the vortex on the stone wall emitted a resplendent light. The stone wall began to violently tremble, and then with a bang, it exploded. How could this be? What's going on in there? The patriarchs of the various clans yelled. At this moment, from all four directions of Gusu City, an incomparably frightening aura exploded forth. Boundless oppressive might enveloped the entire Gusu City. Following this, 4 figures appeared in the air. Each figure was enveloped in a brilliant sacred glow, unleashing a sacred aura. Sacred Realm experts, the Sacred Realm ancestors of the four clans have been alerted. Someone exclaimed. The 4 Sacred Realm ancestors of the four clans had arrived at the entrance of the ancestral ground. What's going on? The Su clan's patriarch said. Patriarch, I don't know what's going on. Su Lei and the others have been in there for half a month, but they still haven't come out. The patriarch of the Su clan said. There's something going on in the ancestral ground. Let's go and take a look. Let's go. The Sacred Realm ancestors of the other clans spoke one after another, then stepped out, rushed into the vortex, and disappeared. The patriarchs of the various clans also followed their patriarchs into the ancestral ground. Let's go in too. The Su clan's patriarch said to the Su clan's patriarch, and then the two of them rushed into the ancestral ground. As soon as the sacred realm ancestors and patriarchs of the four clans entered the ancestral ground, they saw Lu Ming and Su Lei sitting cross-legged. However, everyone's gaze fell on Su Lei. The inheritance has been taken by her. Damn it! The sacred realm ancestors of the other three clans growled one after another, their eyes bursting with shocking murderous intent. What are you trying to do? This is the Su clan's disciples' opportunity. Do you want to interfere? The Su clan's sacred realm ancestor said. What opportunity? This place originally belonged to our four clans. Now that she has taken the inheritance, the younger generation will not be able to get anything here. Yes, that storage bracelet should be left behind by the ancestral ground. We must take it and divide the treasures inside equally. The sacred realm ancestors spoke one after another. The Su clan's patriarch and patriarch's faces were ugly. These people were too overbearing. According to the rules of the four clans, the younger generation who entered the ancestral ground, no matter what opportunity they obtained, would belong to them, of course, including all the inheritance. But now, the other patriarchs were obviously jealous and unwilling to accept this, and wanted to divide it equally. These sacred realm ancestors naturally knew about the ancestral ground. But in the past, when the mystical Dragon soul was still there, even they did not dare to have any ideas about it. This was because in the past, there were sacred realm experts who had ideas about the mystical Dragon soul and were killed here. Chapter 1668. Do you want to go against the rules set by the four families? The Su family's old ancestor said with an ugly expression. Rules? Ridiculous. Rules are set by humans. Now we can set new rules. The Cheng family's old ancestor sneered. That's right. Does the Su family want to stop us? Hee, that's great. Another sage state old ancestor said meaningfully. The Su family's old ancestor and Su family's old ancestor's face changed. The other party's intention was obvious. If the Su family insisted on stopping them, they could use this opportunity to destroy the Su family. Gotcha. The Su family's old ancestor clenched his fists and sighed. How about we split the treasures in the storage bracelet equally? That's more like it. But that girl is receiving the inheritance. We have to interrupt her immediately and extract the inheritance. We'll split it equally among the four families. That's right. We can't let the Su family take all the treasures. The other old ancestors said indifferently. Don't go too far. The Su family's old ancestor roared. He was truly enraged. Like a raging lion, he stared fiercely at the other three families' old ancestors and roared, forcefully interrupting the receiving of the inheritance will definitely result in a backlash. Only death awaits the person receiving the inheritance. Furthermore, the inheritance cannot be extracted. How do we know if we don't try? The Cheng family's old ancestor said casually. That's right. We'll know if it works after we try. Another old ancestor said coldly. Their eyes flashed with cold light. What did Su Lei's life have to do with them? Moreover, they couldn't let the Su family get the complete inheritance. Otherwise, when the Su family rose in the future, would there be a place for the other families in Gusu City? They knew that if they interrupted Su Lei's inheritance forcefully, she would definitely die and the inheritance couldn't be extracted. But their goal was to kill Su Lei. You're going too far. Today I'll fight to the death. I won't let you touch the Su family's people. The Su family's old ancestor roared, his body emitting a terrifying aura. Su Lei had obtained the inheritance of the ancestral land and was the hope of the Su family. He couldn't let Su Lei die. The Su family's old ancestor stood beside him. Old man Su, I'm afraid you alone are not enough. I'll deal with this old man. I'll leave the girl to you. The ancestor of the Chung clan sneered. His body was also emitting a terrifying qi as he walked towards the ancestor of the Su clan. Their qi collided in the air, causing rumbling sounds. The patriarch of the Chung clan targeted the patriarch of the Su clan. There's no need for the patriarch to deal with a little girl. I'll do it. Another clan, the leader of the Hong clan, spoke as he walked towards Su Lei. The old ancestor of the Su family revealed a trace of despair in his eyes. The 4 old ancestors of the 4 great clans were all at minor Illuminant Saint Realm, and none of them were able to do anything to one another. There was no way Zhang Xian could stop the other 3 clans by himself. A sinister smile appeared on the Hong family's patriarch's face as he closed in on Su Lei. Of course, he still held a trace of caution because what Su Lei had received was the inheritance of the mysterious Yin Dragon. He didn't know if the mysterious Yin Dragon's soul was still present. As for Lu Ming, who was sitting beside Su Lei, he was completely ignored by him. In the competition half a month ago, although Lu Ming had displayed terrifying strength, he was a stage 3 sage to be, an expert who had mastered the laws. He didn't take Lu Ming seriously at all. At this moment, Lu Ming opened his eyes, which were filled with coldness. "Get lost." The word, "get lost," came out from Lu Ming's mouth. "Brat, what did you say?" The patriarch of the Hong clan was slightly taken aback before he revealed a sinister smile. "If you don't get lost, you'll die." Lu Ming's voice was even colder. "How arrogant. Then I'll kill you first." The patriarch of the Hong clan was filled with murderous intent as he attacked Lu Ming with his palm. Bam! At this moment, Lu Ming made his move. He pounced on the patriarch of the Hong clan and grabbed him with his hand. All of the attacks and defenses of the patriarch of the Hong clan collapsed in an instant. Lu Ming grabbed the patriarch's throat from above and slammed him onto the ground. Boom! The ground shook and a huge pit was formed. The patriarch of the Hong clan's bones were all broken. Not only that, Lu Ming's terrifying destructive force rushed into his body and destroyed his spiritual deity. Blood kept gushing out of the patriarch of the Hong clan's mouth as he stared at Lu Ming in disbelief. Then, his head tilted to the side and he breathed his last. Everyone else at the scene was also stunned. Lu Ming actually killed the patriarch of the Hong clan, a stage 3 sage to be expert who had mastered the laws, in one move. The patriarch of the Su clan's back was drenched in cold sweat. He was glad that he didn't attack Lu Ming back then. Otherwise, he would most likely end up like him. "Brat, you're courting death." The patriarch of the Hong clan reacted. A terrifying aura erupted from his body and a vast sage aura pressed down on Lu Ming. At the same time, the patriarch of the Hong clan took a step forward and attacked Lu Ming. A terrifying saber light slashed violently at Lu Ming. "Stop!" The patriarch of the Su clan roared. He wanted to help Lu Ming, but the patriarch of the Chung clan blasted out a palm and attacked him. He had no choice but to counterattack to protect himself. The terrifying saber light of the patriarch of the Hong clan was about to slash Lu Ming's head. Lu Ming's palm glowed and the flowing yuan water jacket covered his palm. He raised his hand and grabbed the saber light of the patriarch of the Hong clan. The saber light suddenly stopped in the air. Slash! The patriarch of the Hong clan roared. His saint power surged and the power of laws erupted. He wanted to slash Lu Ming and his hand into 2 halves. However, the saber light still stopped in the air and stopped in Lu Ming's hand. It didn't fall even a little bit. What's going on? The patriarch of the Hong clan's heart trembled. His eyes were filled with disbelief. He was a sage realm expert. How could Lu Ming block his attack? Moreover, it looked so effortless. Bang! Lu Ming suddenly exerted force and the other party's saber gleam shattered like glass. Then, Lu Ming used the wind thunder steps and appeared in front of the patriarch of the Hong clan. He punched out. The flowing yuan gloves glowed and the law of chaos erupted. It destroyed everything in its path. The patriarch of the Hong clan slashed out with all his might, but it was shattered by Lu Ming's punch. Bang! Lu Ming's fist landed heavily on the body of the patriarch of the Hong clan. The patriarch of the Hong clan screamed as a large hole appeared in his body. He flew far away and vomited blood. Then, the black dragon spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and shot out. It pierced through the forehead of the patriarch of the Hong clan and nailed him to the ground. There was no sign of life in him. The patriarch of the Hong family was killed by Lu Ming just like that. At this moment, the rest of the people stared at Lu Ming in a daze. Their eyes widened in disbelief. A sage was killed just like that. Moreover, it looked so easy. They had only heard of a non-saint killing a sage in legends. But now, it was happening right in front of their eyes. They felt like they were in a dream. The second stage of the half-saint realm. The patriarch of the Chung clan mumbled to himself. Chapter 1669. Stage 2 Half-Saint. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. A Stage 2 half-saint was able to kill Lu Ming so easily. His combat strength was terrifying. Let's go! After a while, the rest of them came to their senses. They roared and retreated, wanting to leave this place. I've already said that you'll die if you don't leave. It's too late to leave now. Lu Ming said coldly. Light spots appeared on his body and 36 holy weapons floated out. The battle weapon chi gathered and reached a terrifying level. The black dragon spear returned to Lu Ming's hand and was thrown out by Lu Ming. It nailed the patriarch of a family to the ground. Lu Ming grasped his battle sword and stepped into the void, charging towards a Saint Realm old ancestor. Die! Lu Ming shouted and the divine sword art erupted. The Saint Realm old ancestor's body trembled. At the same time, Lu Ming's battle sword arrived. This patriarch of the Saint Realm was easily killed by Lu Ming's sword. Another Saint Realm expert had fallen. Only the Chung family old ancestor and patriarch of the Chung family were left. However, the two of them were entangled by the Su family old ancestor and patriarch of the Su family. Spare me! At the sight of Lu Ming walking toward them, the Cheng family's Saint Realm patriarch was horrified. He begged for mercy loudly. Die! Lu Ming's eyes were cold and the divine sword art erupted once again. The Cheng family old ancestor trembled. Then, Lu Ming's battle sword slashed across him. The patriarch of the Chung family was extremely terrified and indignant. He was killed by Lu Ming's sword. Then, sword gleams flashed and the patriarch of the Chung family was also killed. Previously, the Chung family old ancestor was the one who wanted to beg for mercy the most. Was that possible? At this point, the patriarchs and patriarchs of the other three families had all fallen. The patriarch of the Su family and the patriarch of the Su family looked at Lu Ming in shock. They were still in a daze. The Saint Realm patriarchs and patriarchs of the other three clans were all dead. Less than a minute had passed since Lu Ming made his move and killed the experts of the three major clans. Such astonishing battle prowess was simply beyond their imagination. Monster, a peerless monster, a true peerless monster. No wonder he dared to challenge the god's son. Now, everyone in the Tsang state thought that Lu Ming would lose for sure and would be killed by the god's son. But now, it seems like that might not be the case. The entire Tsang state has underestimated Lu Ming. Several thoughts flashed across the minds of the Su clan's progenitor and the patriarch. Then, both of them were overjoyed. The strongest experts of the other three clans had all died. From now on, who in Gusu City would be a match for the Su clan? The Su clan was going to dominate Gusu City. All of this was because of Lu Ming. Thinking of this, the Su family's patriarch felt a burst of fear in his heart. Fortunately, he had changed his mind and planned to rope in Lu Ming. Otherwise, the Su clan would have been destroyed. Su clan's fate had been completely changed in an instant. The Su family's patriarch felt extremely complicated. However, he secretly swore that he would rope in Lu Ming properly and treat Su Lei well in the future. Lu Ming's heart was very calm. He leaped and collected the storage rings of the experts of the major clans. Lu Ming also collected the saint hearts of the three Saint Realm experts. Then he continued to wait. Not long after, Su Lei's body emitted a powerful aura. Then, the aura quickly converged and Su Lei opened her eyes. Progenitor, patriarch. Su Lei saw the Su family's progenitor and patriarch and quickly got up and bowed. Don't be so courteous, don't be so courteous. The Su family's progenitor quickly helped Su Lei up. Su Lei and Lu Ming were very close. He even guessed that the two of them might have a special relationship. How could he dare to let Su Lei bow to him like this? Su Lei got up and was even more shocked when she saw the corpses of the experts of the other three major clans. Let's go, Lu Ming said. The four of them walked towards the exit. In the next moment, they appeared outside the ancestral land. Outside the ancestral land, many people were waiting. At this moment, when they saw Lu Ming and the others coming out, they all looked towards them. Let's go back to the Su clan. The Su family's progenitor ordered. Lu Ming and the others all returned to the Su clan with the disciples of the Su clan. The disciples of the other three major clans waited outside the ancestral land for a long time. When they didn't see their progenitor and patriarch coming out, they suddenly became anxious. After that, they sent people into the ancestral land only to find that the progenitor and patriarch of the three major clans were all dead. When the news came out, it caused a huge commotion in Gusu City. Everyone was extremely shocked. The progenitor and patriarch of the three major clans were all dead in the ancestral land. However, the Su clan was safe and sound. Everyone knew that Gusu City was going to change. The people of the other three major clans were all terrified. As for the Su clan's progenitor and patriarch, they started to make arrangements as soon as they returned to the Su clan. Gusu City should be unified now. However, this had nothing to do with Lu Ming anymore. On the second day, Lu Ming bid farewell to the Su clan's progenitor and patriarch. He was going to return to the Divine Dragon Valley. "Senior Lu Ming, I'll go back with you," Su Lei said. Now that her mother and her clansman's status in the Su clan had risen, she naturally could rest assured. "All right." Lu Ming nodded and brought Su Lei out of Gusu City. The Su clan's progenitor and the others sent them all the way out of Gusu City. "Everyone, please go back." Lu Ming took out the void-piercing shuttle and entered it with Su Lei. The void-piercing shuttle shot out at lightning speed and disappeared in the sky. Su Qi, regarding the matter of Lu Ming killing a saint, it's best not to leak it out before the battle between Lu Ming and the Divine Child. The Su clan's progenitor sent a voice transmission to the Su clan's patriarch. "Yes, progenitor." The Su clan's patriarch nodded. Only the two of them knew about this matter. They understood that the fewer people who knew about it, the better. If the Heavenly Divinity sect knew about it, they would probably put Lu Ming in a disadvantageous position. Now, they naturally hoped that Lu Ming would win. Lu Ming and Su Lei were so close. The stronger Lu Ming was, the more benefits the Su clan would receive in the future. In the blink of an eye, another 7 days passed and Lu Ming finally returned to the Divine Dragon Valley. "Senior Lu Ming, when are you going to the treasure pedestal meeting?" "I'll go with you," Su Lei said timidly. Her voice was soft and nervous, as if she was afraid that Lu Ming would reject her. "All right, I'll send you a voice transmission when I'm going to the Gray Mountain," Lu Ming said with a smile. Su Lei nodded repeatedly, her face flushed red. After that, Lu Ming and Su Lei parted ways and Lu Ming returned to the Cloud Dragon Valley. "Master!" As soon as he entered the Cloud Dragon Valley, he heard a crisp voice and a petite figure rush towards Lu Ming. "Xiang Xiang." Lu Ming smiled. This petite figure was his disciple, Xiang Xiang. "Junior brother, you're finally back." During this period, Xiang Xiang missed you very much and kept asking when Master would return. A heroic voice rang out as Long Yuanshan strode over. "Second senior brother." Lu Ming cupped his fists. Chapter 1670. "Second senior brother, you've broken through to the Saint Realm? Congratulations." Lu Ming looked at Long Yuanshan and was overjoyed when he saw Saint Force surging on Long Yuanshan's body. "Haha, I've only broken through to the Saint Realm after such a long time. Your third senior brother and the others have broken through to the Saint Realm long ago." Long Yuanshan laughed straightforwardly. "With second senior brother's talent, you'll definitely be able to break through to the Saint Realm in the future," Lu Ming said. Lu Ming had heard Tian Chui and Xuaningxin mention that Long Yuanshan had been seriously injured when he was young. That was why his cultivation progress was extremely slow and he was stuck at the half-saint realm. It was said that when Long Yuanshan was young, he went out to train with their eldest senior brother and encountered a strong enemy. In that battle, their eldest senior brother died while Long Yuanshan was seriously injured. This was also a knot in Long Yuanshan's heart and the resistance that stopped him from moving forward. Long Yuanshan smiled and didn't say anything. "Xiang Xiang, Come, let master see how your cultivation is. Lu Ming turned his gaze to Xiang Xiang. After more than a year, Xiang Xiang had grown a lot taller. She was already over 9 years old and looked slender and elegant. One could tell at a glance that she was a beauty. Lu Ming was shocked when he saw her and said, Xiang Xiang, you've broken through to the spirit god realm? Yes, I broke through not long ago. Xiang Xiang's cultivation hasn't fallen behind, right? Xiang Xiang blinked her big eyes and said. Lu Ming's lips trembled. Not only has it not fallen behind, it's simply amazing. More than a year ago, Xiang Xiang's cultivation was only at the peak of the martial king realm. In just a little over a year, Xiang Xiang had crossed several realms and broken through to the spirit god realm in one go. Even with Lu Ming's mental state, he was shocked by the spirit god realm at the age of 9. Ninth junior brother, are you surprised? Xiang Xiang's talent is peerless and rare. If us seniors don't work hard, I'm afraid it won't be long before Xiang Xiang surpasses us. Long Yuanshan laughed. That's possible. Lu Ming mumbled, feeling a sense of pressure. As her master, if he was really overtaken by Xiang Xiang in the future, it would be too embarrassing. Of course, he was still very happy in his heart. Although there was pressure, he still hoped that Xiang Xiang would be as strong as possible. By the way, second senior brother, where's Master? Lu Ming asked. Master has some matters to attend to during this period of time. As for the specifics, I don't know either. Therefore, during this period of time, I will be guiding Xiang Xiang in her cultivation. Long Yuanshan said. Lu Ming nodded. It seemed like the Cloud Dragon Valley Master really had something important to do. Ninth junior brother, you've come back at the right time. Dragon God Valley is holding the Treasure Sorting Convention's selection today. You should still be able to make it if you head over now. Long Yuanshan said. Selection. Lu Ming was surprised. In the past, those with a cultivation of the 7th layer Martial Dominator realm and below the age of 50 were allowed to participate in the Treasure Sorting Convention. Why was there a selection this time? Ninth junior brother, the rules of the Treasure Sorting Convention have been changed. In recent years, there have been many experts and geniuses among the younger generation. As a result, there are too many 7th layer Martial Dominator realm cultivators and stronger geniuses. Therefore, it's meaningless to have too many 7th layer Martial Dominator realm cultivators participating in the Treasure Sorting Convention. Therefore, the rules have been changed. Each sect will send 20 of their strongest geniuses to participate in the Treasure Sorting Convention. Long Yuanshan explained. Only 20? Lu Ming said. That's right. Therefore, the elders of the Dragon God Valley will first select 20 participants, and the others will challenge these 20 participants. The winner of the challenge will be able to replace the opponent and become one of the 20 participants. In the end, the 20 participants will be decided when no one challenges them. Ninth junior brother, let's go. You'll surely be able to secure a spot. Long Yuanshan said. Sure. Lu Ming nodded. He then brought Xiang Xiang and Long Yuanshan to a snowy mountain. They soon arrived at the venue of the Treasure Sorting Convention. The top of a snowy mountain was extremely flat, with a fighting ring at its center. The ring was surrounded by people. To the north of the ring was a row of seats, where the authorities of the Dragon God Valley and the other 7 valleys were seated. Beside the fighting ring stood a row of people. These were the 20 participants that had been selected by the 7 valleys. 7th senior brother, 8th senior sister. Lu Ming saw Tian Chue and Xuanixin among the 20 participants. 7th junior brother and 8th junior sister have both reached the 1st layer half-sacred realm. They are quite outstanding among the younger generation of the Dragon God Valley. Long Yuanshan said. Lu Ming nodded. Tian Chue and Xuanixin had reached the 8th layer Martial Dominator realm more than a year ago. It was normal for them to reach the 1st layer half-sacred realm with their talents. Lu Ming, it's Lu Ming. At this moment, someone saw Lu Ming and instantly exclaimed. What? Lu Ming is here? Where is he? Immediately, many people turned their heads and looked around. Their gazes then landed on Lu Ming. Everyone in the Dragon God Valley knew that Lu Ming had challenged the Divine Sun. However, Lu Ming had rarely appeared in the past 3 years. Everyone was curious to know what cultivation level Lu Ming had reached. Lu Ming pulled Xiang Xiang and landed in the seating area with Long Yuanshan. Cloud Dragon Valley was one of the 7 valleys. Since Long Yuanshan had reached the Saint Realm, he was naturally qualified to sit there. A cold gaze swept toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming immediately sensed the gaze and looked toward the person. Valley Master Yin Long. Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. The Valley Master of the Silver Dragon Valley cast a cold glance at Lu Ming before he turned away. Now, let's continue the challenge. Who else wants to challenge me? An elder of the Saint Realm stood in the air above the fighting ring and his voice resounded throughout the area. I'll do it. A young man rushed into the fighting ring and challenged another young man of the LV9 Martial Dominator realm. The young man who challenged him was also of the LV9 Martial Dominator realm. After a dozen blows, the young man who challenged him was defeated. Then, a few more people went up to challenge him, but they were all defeated. Those who were selected by the elders of the 7 valleys were definitely the most powerful among the younger generation of the Dragon God Valley. It was not easy for ordinary people to succeed. Since the start of the challenge, dozens of people had gone up to challenge him, but none of them had succeeded. Who else wants to challenge me? The elder in charge asked again. I'll go up and get a spot. At this moment, Lu Ming got up, took a step forward and appeared in the fighting ring. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. All eyes were on Lu Ming. Lu Ming had disappeared for too long and no one knew how powerful Lu Ming was. Therefore, Lu Ming's name was not among the 20 spots. Now that Lu Ming had challenged him, would he be able to succeed? Lu Ming defeated everyone in the last treasure peddling convention. Now that so much time has passed, it should be no problem for him to get a spot. That's right, it should be no problem for him to get a spot. I just don't know what cultivation level he has reached. Chapter 1671. In the previous treasure ordering meeting, Lu Ming had defeated everyone with his powerful combat ability. However, Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the 4th level Martial Emperor realm. Nearly 3 years had passed. What realm had Lu Ming's cultivation reached? He must have reached the high-level Martial Royal realm. Ha, the 9th junior brother, you're finally back. We can fight side by side again. Tian Chui burst out laughing. In his opinion, it would be a piece of cake for Lu Ming to win a spot. 7th senior brother, 8th senior sister, how have you been? Let's have a drink after the challenge. Lu Ming said with a smile. Sure, huh? Tian Chui and Xuaningxin nodded with a smile. Lu Ming, who do you want to challenge? The elder in charge glanced at Lu Ming. Him then. Lu Ming scanned the crowd and fixed his gaze on a young man in a silver robe. He was obviously the genius of the Silver Dragon Valley. Who else could he challenge? Humph, Lu Ming, times have changed. You were strong 3 years ago, but that might not be the case now. The young man stepped forward with a powerful aura. The aura of the peak 9th layer Martial Royal realm. Furthermore, since he was chosen, his talent would not be bad. His spiritual body should be at least a middle-tier earthly spiritual body. Come, I'll give you a chance. Lu Ming spoke faintly, his voice calm. In his opinion, the 9th layer Martial Royal realm was just a formality. How presumptuous, I'll send you to hell. Silver Dragon Claw. The genius of the Silver Dragon Valley let out a roar as a layer of silver dragon scales appeared on his body. He swiped at Lu Ming with his claw, leaving a terrifying claw mark in the air. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived before Lu Ming. How powerful, let's see how Lu Ming is going to break it. Someone exclaimed. At that instant, Lu Ming reached out his hand and grabbed his opponent's wrist at lightning speed. His opponent's arm and his entire body came to a stop in the air. Break! The other party's expression changed, and he suddenly roared. His entire body emitted a dazzling silver light, and the roar of a dragon resounded. But before his silver light could erupt, Lu Ming swung his arm. Bang! His opponent was heavily smashed to the ground, and the fighting ring rumbled violently. Then Lu Ming waved his hand, and his opponent's body was thrown out of the stage like a broken sack by Lu Ming. He fell to the ground with a dazed expression. Many people were also dumbfounded. A genius at the peak of the 9th martial emperor realm from the Silver Dragon Valley had been defeated so easily. Lu Ming hadn't even moved a step. Although some people thought that Lu Ming would win at the beginning, they didn't expect him to win so easily. Could it be that Lu Ming had already broken through to the half-saint realm? Valley Master Silver Dragon snorted coldly from his seat, his face dark. "Ha, ninth junior brother, you're amazing." Tian Shui laughed loudly. "Ninth junior brother, you really went easy on him." Xuening said in her heart. Lu Ming smiled. He had shown mercy just now. Otherwise, his opponent would have been dead. Lu Ming has won this round and entered the top 20. Who else wants to challenge him? The hosting elder asked. Wait a minute. At this moment, a voice was heard in the fighting ring. The hosting elder was stunned. He looked at one of the 20 people in the fighting ring and asked, "In Zisong, do you have any questions?" A young man in a silver robe stepped out with a cold and arrogant look. He was the one who had asked him to wait a minute just now. "Elder, I don't think Lu Ming is qualified to enter the top 20 to represent the Dragon God Valley at the treasure meeting," In Zisong said. "Bullshit. In Zisong, what right do you have to say that junior brother Lu Ming is not qualified to represent the Dragon God Valley at the treasure meeting? Junior brother Lu Ming's strength is obvious to all." Tian Shui was enraged and shouted, What's so great about having some strength?" In Zisong snorted coldly. He looked even more arrogant as he said, "Everyone knows that Lu Ming is extremely daring and has offended the Celestial God sect, the Heavenly Universe Demon sect, and the Poison Desire sect. If he also participates in the treasure exhibition, we will definitely be targeted by the 3 major sections. By then, we will be lucky if we don't come in last place, let alone be the champion of the treasure exhibition. We were also targeted by the 3 sects at the treasure meeting 3 years ago. How did we get first place in the end?" Xuening Xin mocked. "That was then and this is now. The treasure identification meet is just a small matter. The treasure identification meet is where the geniuses are as common as clouds. What does Lu Ming count for? Moreover, the battle between him and the Divine Sun has nothing to do with the treasure meeting. Since the result is already decided, he will be killed. He might as well send himself to the Divine Sun and not implicate us." In Zisong said. "Zisong is right. In my opinion, we should just kill Lu Ming and give him to the Divine Sun to mend our relationship with the Heavenly Divinity sect." Valley Master Yin Long said coldly from his seat. If you want to suck up to the Heavenly Divinity sect and be their dog, go ahead. No one will stop you. However, I am not interested." Lu Ming suddenly laughed and looked at Valley Master Yin Long with disdain. "How dare you!" Valley Master Yin Long was furious and a powerful aura erupted from his body. "Old dog, you are angry," Lu Ming said indifferently, and his tone was full of disdain. He then turned around and ignored Valley Master Yin Long. Valley Master Yin Long was so angry that his chest heaved up and down. He wanted to slap Lu Ming to death, but he could not do so in front of the experts of the 7 valleys and the other valley masters. Many people sighed. Lu Ming was still Lu Ming. He was still so bold and direct. He called Valley Master Yin Long an old dog in front of everyone, just like he did 3 years ago. "Everyone, you've seen it for yourselves. This kid has no respect for his elders. I suggest that he be disqualified, and then his cultivation be crippled before being thrown into prison." Valley Master Yin Long said coldly. "I think 9th junior brother is right. You are obviously an old dog. As a Valley Master, you want to give the disciples of Dragon God Valley to the Heavenly Divinity sect as an apology. You are shameless. If you want to kneel and lick the Heavenly Divinity sect's boots, then go ahead and join the Heavenly Divinity sect." Long Yuanshan said coldly from the seating area. Now that he had reached the Saint Realm, he was the representative of Cloud Dragon Valley when Valley Master Yin Long was not around. He had great power and did not need to be afraid of Valley Master Yin Long. Cloud Dragon Valley is the cancer of Dragon God Valley. Valley Master Yin Long said angrily. "All right, you are an elder. Why are you arguing with the younger generation? Let's continue watching the competition. An elder in a purple robe said from the side. The elder in the purple robe was Valley Master Yinlong. That's right, Yinlong. You're already so old. Why are you arguing with the younger generation? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at by the younger generation? The other Valley Master also spoke up. Valley Master Yinlong's face darkened. It was obvious that the other Valley Masters were on Lu Ming's side. Chapter 1672. Lu Ming, your participation in the treasure pedestal meeting will not only be of no use, but will also cause us to be targeted by the other 3 sections. If I were you, I would get out of the fighting ring and not participate. Yin Zisong yelled and continued to target Lu Ming. He wanted Lu Ming to be disqualified from the treasure pedestal meeting and be killed by the god's son. Furthermore, he could suppress Lu Ming and boost his reputation. Yin Zisong was a newly risen genius. 3 years ago, his cultivation was only at the peak of the 9th layer martial royal realm. He could not compete with the top geniuses. However, his cultivation had reached the 2nd stage of the half-saint realm, and he had comprehended the laws. Furthermore, he also had a superior earth spiritual body. His combat strength was second only to Zifeng, one of the top 10 monsters in the Dragon God Valley. He was ambitious and was bent on surpassing Zifeng to become one of the top 10 demons. Before that, he had to constantly establish his authority. Lu Ming, who was famous, was undoubtedly a very good choice. So you're saying that your participation in the treasure pedestal meeting is very useful? Lu Ming replied calmly. Nonsense, who in the Dragon God Valley doesn't know my combat strength? I'll definitely help the Dragon God Valley achieve great things in the treasure pedestal meeting. Yin Zisong said proudly. A piece of trash? You really know how to flatter yourself. Lu Ming said calmly. What did you say? Yin Zisong was enraged and his face darkened. He rolled his eyes and said, Lu Ming, I'll challenge you now. If you can withstand 10 moves from me without being defeated, I'll admit that you're strong enough to participate in the treasure pedestal meeting. How about that? 10 moves? Lu Ming's lips curled upward. What? You don't dare? Yin Zisong sneered and cupped his fists at the hosting elder. Elder, is this battle acceptable? If Lu Ming agrees, yes. The hosting elder said. Everyone's gaze was on Lu Ming. Yin Zisong challenged Lu Ming. Would Lu Ming dare to accept the challenge? Presently, Yin Zisong was the number 2 powerhouse in Dragon God Valley's young generation, second only to Zifeng. Without the cultivation of the 2nd stage of the half-saint realm, how could it be easy to take 10 moves from Yin Zisong? Alright, make your move. Lu Ming said indifferently. His expression was calm, and no one could tell what he was thinking. On his seat, Valley Master Silver Dragon was overjoyed. He transmitted his voice to Yin Zisong. Zisong, this is an opportunity. Seize it and cripple Lu Ming. Yin Zisong nodded in agreement, and a sharp light flashed in his eyes. Junior brother, you have to be careful. Yin Zisong's cultivation has already reached the 2nd stage of the half-saint realm. His spiritual body is a superior earth spiritual body. Xuanixin hurriedly sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming, telling him to be careful. Lu Ming gave Tianque and Xuanixin a reassuring smile. Humph, this guy wants to challenge Master. He will definitely be beaten down by Master. Master is the most powerful. At the edge of Longyuan Mountain, Xiang Xiang said coquettishly. Bang! Yin Zisong stepped out from the fighting ring. His cultivation of the 2nd stage of the half-saint realm was fully displayed. His body was surrounded by the Dharma, and his aura was intimidating. Lu Ming, you really don't know your own strength. 3 years ago, your cultivation was only at the 4th stage of the martial royal realm. Now, no matter how fast you have improved, what level can you reach? Kneel down before me. Yin Zisong sneered. He strode forward and threw a punch at Lu Ming. Kneel down. Lu Ming suddenly shouted. The holy sword art in his eyes shot out and pierced into Yin Zisong's body. Yin Zisong screamed in agony. His eyes popped out, and his face was distorted as if he was in unbearable pain. His soul was almost torn apart by Lu Ming. "Kneel down." Lu Ming shouted again and stepped out. Bang! Lu Ming's martial sacred realm's soul force exploded and pressed down on Yin Zisong. At that moment, it was as if Lu Ming had transformed into a deity in front of Yin Zisong. He was 10,000 zhang tall and stood between the heavens and earth. With a single thought, the heavens and earth would crumble, and millions of corpses would fall to the ground. At that moment, Yin Zisong was utterly terrified. He immediately knelt down with a thump. Upon seeing this, the crowd was dumbfounded. Their eyes almost popped out of their sockets, as they could not believe what they had just seen. Yin Zisong had actually knelt down before Lu Ming. Furthermore, the two of them did not even attack. There was no shocking scene. They only heard Lu Ming yelling, "Get lost," before Yin Zisong knelt down. What was going on? Previously, Yin Zisong had not been arrogant, as if he did not put Lu Ming in his eyes. He had even said that if Lu Ming could withstand 10 moves from him, he would admit that Lu Ming was strong enough to participate in the treasure sorting convention. But now, he had knelt in front of Lu Ming before they had even attacked. What was this? "Lu Ming, what kind of sorcery did you use?" The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley roared in disbelief. He was the most outstanding genius of Silver Dragon Valley, but he had knelt in front of Lu Ming because of Lu Ming's yelling. "Sorcery? What a joke. You're a Valley Master and a Supreme Saint. How could you say sorcery?" Lu Ming replied with a cold smile. There were thousands of martial arts, and all kinds of secret skills were endless. The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley had said sorcery as if he was an ordinary person. How ridiculous was that? The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley widened his eyes in anger, but he could not refute it. "Can't you see through his soul power?" Long Yuanshan asked calmly. "Of course I can see through it. You don't have to say it." The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley said coldly. They could see that Lu Ming had used his soul power, and he had only said sorcery in a moment of desperation. However, Lu Ming's soul power was too strong, and it shocked them. How can this kid's soul power reach such a level? It's comparable to a saint's. The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley roared in his heart. He hated Lu Ming to the core. When he faced Lu Ming, he often could not control the anger in his heart. Otherwise, as the master of a valley, he would not be in such a pathetic state. Buzz. In the fighting ring, Lu Ming withdrew his soul power, and Yin Zisong felt his soul become lighter. He panted heavily as if he had collapsed. Then, he realized that he had knelt in front of Lu Ming. Everyone's eyes fell on him. Some looked at him with disdain, some looked at him with disdain, and some mocked him. Damn it. How can this be?" Yin Zisong's eyes turned red as he screamed in his heart. He could not believe that he had knelt in front of Lu Ming. He felt as if his soul had been torn apart, and he had no idea what he had done. "What a piece of trash," Lu Ming said calmly. You, Yin Zisong shouted as he spat out a mouthful of blood. "Nest, you're so powerful. You spat out blood on your own accord. I've learned something new today." Tian Chue gloated and added insult to injury, causing Yin Zisong to spit out another mouthful of blood. "Let's go." The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley could not stand it anymore. He waved his sleeves and stepped into the air. Chapter 1673. After Valley Master Yin Long left, the challenges continued. Yin Zisong had to stay on the fighting ring because he was the one being challenged. Yin Zisong could only lower his head and stand on the fighting ring in shame. The challenges continued, but no one dared to challenge Lu Ming because of his combat strength. In fact, no one dared to challenge those who were ranked at the top. Most of the challenges later on ended in failure. Half a day later, the challenges ended and the 20 spots were decided. In Tian Chue's cave in Cloud Dragon Valley, Long Yuanshan, Lu Ming, Tian Chue, and Xuanixin sat around a table and drank happily. Today was a great day to see Valley Master Yin Long's face. Tian Chue drank a few mouthfuls of wine and laughed. Long Yuanshan and Xuanixin smiled when they thought of Valley Master Yinlong's defeated expression. By the way, ninth junior brother, what's your cultivation level now? Long Yuanshan asked. Tian Chui and Xuanixin were also curious. Lu Ming didn't hide anything. He released his aura and surrounded himself with the Dharma. The Dharma? That's stage 2 of a half-saint. Amazing! Tian Chui said with his eyes wide open. Ninth junior brother's talent is extraordinary. As your senior sister, I have been surpassed. Xuanixin said with a smile. When they first met Lu Ming's cultivation level was far lower than theirs. Now, Lu Ming had surpassed Lu Ming. His talent was amazing. Of course, they were happy for Lu Ming. However, Long Yuanshan didn't look happy. He asked, Ninth junior brother, are you confident that you can defeat the Divine Sun? Hearing this, Tian Chui and Xuanixin's expressions immediately turned serious, revealing traces of worry. Lu Ming was strong, but he was only a stage 2 half-saint. On the other hand, the Divine Sun had reached the Saint Realm a year and a half ago. A Saint Realm cultivator condensed a Saint heart. His true essence turned into Saint power and he had a stronger control over the Dharma. He was much stronger than a half-saint. It was too difficult to fight against a saint in the second stage of the half-saint realm. Moreover, the Divine Sun was not an ordinary half-saint, but a peerless genius of the Zhangzhou state. If the Divine Sun's cultivation is still at the Saint Realm small mastery, I have a 50% chance of killing him. Lu Ming said after pondering for a moment. What? 50% chance of killing him? Long Yuanshan, Tian Chui, and Xuanixin were dumbfounded. Although they had hoped that Lu Ming would say that he was confident, they had never imagined that Lu Ming would actually say that he had a 50% chance of killing the Divine Sun. Not defeat, but kill. Killing was much more difficult than defeating. Lu Ming actually had a 50% chance of killing the Divine Sun. Long Yuanshan, Tian Chui, and Xuanixin exchanged a glance. It seemed that they had underestimated their junior brother. Ha! Good. Then senior brother will wait for junior brother to display your invincible might during the treasure ranking meeting and annihilate him. Tian Chui laughed heartily, picked up the wine jar, and drank a few more mouthfuls. They had not seen each other for more than a year and naturally had a lot to talk about. They drank and chatted until late at night, when they finally left. In the following days, Lu Ming went into seclusion to cultivate diligently. The Divine Sun had broken through to the Saint Realm a year and a half ago. Although it was very difficult to break through after reaching the Saint Realm, the resources and time required for each breakthrough were incomparable to those of the martial royal realm. However, the Divine Sun was very talented and had received the full support of the Celestial God sect. Who knew if the Divine Sun had broken through in a year and a half? If the Divine Sun broke through again, it would be difficult for Lu Ming to defeat him. Therefore, the only way was to continuously improve his own strength. In the following days, Lu Ming comprehended the law of chaos every day and cultivated the chaotic flipping sky seal. The chaotic flipping sky seal had already reached the peak of the 5th level. If he could break through to the 6th level, Lu Ming's combat strength would increase again. More than a month passed in the blink of an eye. There was only about a month left before the treasure sorting assembly began. It was time to leave for Tsang Mountain. Tian Chui, Xuanixin, Lu Ming, and Xiang wanted to go with them, so Lu Ming brought Lu Xiang along. Before they left, Lu Ming sent a message to Su Lei. Lu Ming had promised to bring Su Lei along when he went to Tsang Mountain. The 5 of them arrived at Dragon God Valley. This time, let's take my sky-piercing flying shuttle. Xuanixin smiled and took out a sky-piercing flying shuttle. It shone with a silver light and was exceptionally beautiful. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that Xuanixin's sky-piercing flying shuttle was not an ordinary one. The 5 of them entered the sky-piercing flying shuttle. With a swoosh, the sky-piercing flying shuttle shot across the sky like a stream of light. Its speed was about twice as fast as an ordinary one. It only took them 7 days to reach the vicinity of Tsang Mountain. When they were close to Tsang Mountain, they got off the sky-piercing flying shuttle and flew toward Tsang Mountain. Boom, boom. As they approached Tsang Mountain, they heard a loud explosion in front of them. Rays of brilliant light shot up into the sky. Someone was fighting. Some people were watching from the sky. As the 5 of them approached, they realized that the 2 people fighting were both 6th-layer martial royal realm cultivators from 2 different sections. Every time before the treasure sorting convention, it would be a stage for cultivators below the 6th-layer martial royal realm. It was normal for cultivators below the 6th-layer martial royal realm to fight with each other. As Lu Ming and the others approached, they attracted the attention of the crowd. Many people looked toward Lu Ming and the others. Is that Lu Ming? It's really him. He finally showed up. He barely showed up in the past few years. More than a year ago, he only showed up once in the heavenly wind plains. After that, he disappeared without a trace. I thought he wouldn't show up at this treasure sorting convention. I didn't expect him to actually show up. Interesting. Lu Ming's appearance caused a commotion among the crowd. Lu Ming, you really dared to show up. I thought you would hide like a turtle and not dare to show up. A sneer rang out and spread throughout the crowd. A few figures stepped into the sky and arrived in front of Lu Ming and the others. They looked at Lu Ming with a sneer. Shiguan. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The one who spoke was Shiguan of the Celestial God sect. During the last treasure sorting convention, when Lu Ming and the others arrived at Song Mountain, they were chased by Shiguan. Over the past 3 years, Shiguan had undoubtedly become more powerful. His body was filled with milky white holy light and the power of law was flowing around him. Stage 2 of the half-saint realm was Shiguan's cultivation. However, Shiguan was not a high-class earthly spiritual body, but a middle-class one. Now, Lu Ming could kill him with one slap. What bad luck. As soon as we arrived at Song Mountain, we heard a wild dog barking. Tian Chui grinned and sneered. Senior brother is right, and it's an ugly wild dog. Xuanixin also shouted. Tian Chui and Xuanixin kept talking, which made Xiang giggle. She blinked her eyes and asked curiously, Martial uncle, martial aunt, I didn't know a wild dog looked like this. This is the first time I've seen one. Chapter 1674. Shiguan's expression was extremely gloomy. He swept his cold gaze across Tian Chui and the others and said, So what if you have a sharp tongue? Lu Ming, this time, there is no need for senior brother divine son to make a move. You will lose your life at the treasure pedestal meeting. Humph. After saying that, Shiguan snorted coldly and turned around to leave. He left with the other heavenly god sect disciples in the blink of an eye. Lu Ming and the others did not linger. They flew directly to the Dragon God Valley's outpost in Song Mountain. This was Xiang's first time coming to Song Mountain. Her big eyes looked around curiously. The little girl had been either at the Lu Clan Fort or the Dragon God Valley for the past few years. This was her first time going out. Xiang, cultivate well. When you become a high-level martial monarch, Master will let you go out alone. Lu Ming said. Yes. Xiang will do her best. The little girl's eyes lit up immediately as she clenched her fists. After arriving at the Dragon God Valley's outpost, the next few days were very peaceful. 3 days later, Tian Chui and Xuanixin came to look for Lu Ming. The treasure pavilion was going to open its doors to sell treasures again. Lu Ming's eyes were also filled with anticipation. The treasure pavilion was an emperor-level faction. Its business covered many large provinces. There were countless treasures in the treasure pavilion, many of which could not be found in the Tsang province. Lu Ming also wanted to buy 2 things. The first was a sky-piercing flying shuttle. Lu Ming wanted to buy a higher-grade sky-piercing flying shuttle. The second was a dragon bone or true dragon blood essence. Previously, Lu Ming had obtained a dragon valley in Gusu City's ancestral land. However, that dragon bone had clearly been dead for many years. It had lost a lot of its spiritual essence. Lu Ming estimated that even if he swallowed and refined it, it would be difficult for his spiritual body to evolve. When the dragon god's battle body reached the heavenly spiritual body level, each evolution consumed a terrifying amount of energy and required a terrifying amount of true dragon's spiritual essence. Therefore, Lu Ming needed more true dragon bones or blood essence and the like. Moreover, The blood essence of a true dragon of the bright sage realm was no longer of much use to Lu Ming. Lu Ming needed something of a higher level. These were almost impossible to find in the Tsang state. Previously, when Lu Ming was in the Dragon God Valley, he had gone to the Treasure Dragon Palace to inquire. However, the highest level of true dragon of the Bright Sage Realm was only a true dragon of the Bright Sage Realm, and there were not many of them. Lu Ming was looking forward to the opening of the Treasure Pavilion on this trip to Tsang Mountain. The three of them headed towards the Supreme Treasure Pavilion. Just like 3 years ago, the Supreme Treasure Pavilion was packed with people. Many people were wearing black robes and bamboo hats, as if they were afraid of being recognized. 3 years ago, Lu Ming and the others were the same. But this time, the three of them did not conceal their strength. With Lu Ming's current combat strength, why would he need to conceal his strength? When the three of them stepped into the Treasure Pavilion, they immediately attracted the attention of many pairs of eyes. Many people looked at Lu Ming. Obviously, many of them recognized Lu Ming. Lu Ming did not care. His face was calm as he walked around with Tian Chui and the others. After walking around, they went straight to the 3rd floor. Some people's eyes flickered as they followed Lu Ming and the others to the 3rd floor. The treasures on the 3rd floor were much more advanced. Lu Ming came to a counter that specialized in selling sacred weapons. A young woman looked at him with a smile. "Sir, what kind of sacred weapon do you need?" The young woman smiled. "Excuse me, do you sell breaking sky shuttles here?" Lu Ming asked. "Of course we have breaking sky shuttles." "Sir, how many times faster do you need?" The young woman asked. "Breaking sky shuttles." The breaking sky shuttles that Lu Ming used before were the lowest grade breaking sky shuttles. With this kind of breaking sky shuttles as a unit of measurement, they were called breaking sky shuttles with twice the speed. The higher grade breaking sky shuttles, the faster they were. For example, Xuaningxin's breaking sky shuttles were twice the speed of ordinary breaking sky shuttles, so they were called breaking sky shuttles with twice the speed. Breaking sky shuttles with 3 times the speed were called breaking sky shuttles with 3 times the speed, and so on. Back then, Valley Master Yun Long's breaking sky shuttles were at least 10 times the speed. Breaking sky shuttles were mainly about speed, followed by defensive power. Generally, the faster the speed, the higher the price. And ordinary breaking sky shuttles were usually worth about 5 sacred weapons. A breaking sky shuttles with twice the speed would double the price. The faster the speed, the higher the price. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and said, "I need a breaking sky shuttles with 5 times the speed." "Of course we have a breaking sky shuttles with 5 times the speed. Please wait a moment." The young woman took out a storage ring. The ring glowed, and a very beautiful breaking sky shuttles appeared. It was only the size of a palm, and it was covered with beautiful starlight spots. The breaking sky shuttles attracted a lot of attention as soon as they were taken out. "What a beautiful breaking sky shuttles. I'm afraid this breaking sky shuttles is no small matter." Just like that beauty said, "It's a breaking sky shuttles with 5 times the speed. Can Lu Ming afford it?" Low voices came from all around, and many people's eyes were burning with passion. Lu Ming's eyes also flashed. A breaking sky shuttles with 5 times the speed would take him at most 3 days to travel between Tsang Mountain and Dragon God Valley, or even less. Lu Ming was very tempted. "This breaking sky shuttles is made of star iron. It's worth 25 sacred weapons. Do you want it?" The woman's voice came. "I want it," Lu Ming said, and many people around were shocked. 25 sacred weapons, and Lu Ming said he wanted it without batting an eyelid. Many people were stunned, and some people's eyes flashed with greed. Lu Ming's lips curled into a sneer. If it was 3 years ago, he would never dare to be so arrogant, but now? If anyone dared to have any ideas about him, he wouldn't mind killing some of them first. "Excuse me, do you have true dragon bones for sale here? If you do, I'll buy some and pay together." Lu Ming said. "We do have true dragon bones. What level of true dragon bones do you need?" The young woman said. "Above the great saint level. The higher the level, the better." Lu Ming said. "Above the great saint level." The young woman's eyes moved and said, We only have 3,000 gene of great saint-level true dragon bones here, and they are full of spirituality. However, the price is very high. It costs 50 sacred weapons. The young woman said this to Lu Ming through voice transmission. The young woman said this for Lu Ming's sake. The price was too high, and she was afraid that Lu Ming would be targeted by others. 50 sacred weapons? Lu Ming's heart moved. In total, he would need 75 enlightened sacred weapons. He could take out so many enlightened sacred weapons, but after taking them out, he would not have much left. If he needed to cultivate the 10,000 weapon incantation, where would he find so many enlightened sacred weapons in a short period of time? Lu Ming thought about it and decided to use other treasures to offset the price. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He took out a storage ring and handed it to the young woman, saying, "Miss, take a look and see if the things inside can offset the void-piercing flying shuttle and the dragon bones." The young woman nodded and took the storage ring. After scanning it with her spiritual sense, her face changed and she sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. "Is this the corpse of a supreme divine beast?" Lu Ming nodded. Chapter 1675. Dear guest, it's hard for me to estimate the price of such a divine beast's corpse. You'll have to call the deacon here. Please wait a moment. The young woman said and took out a voice transmission talisman to send a message. Soon, a white-haired old man came to the counter. The old man emitted a faint sacred aura. Lu Ming guessed that the old man was a sacred realm existence. The old man picked up Lu Ming's storage ring and scanned it with his spiritual sense. His expression changed slightly as he inspected it carefully. A moment later, the old man transmitted his voice to Lu Ming, "Little brother, although this supreme divine beast's corpse has lost a lot of its spirit after being dead for many years, its overall price is still higher than a shattering sky shuttle with 5 times the speed and 3,000 gene of the great sacred true dragon's bones. Are you sure you want to trade?" Lu Ming nodded. The goshawk's corpse was useless in his hands, so he might as well trade it for something useful. "All right, little brother, I won't let you suffer a loss. I'll add 9 drops of brilliant sacred true dragon's blood essence for you." The old man smiled and handed the other storage ring to Lu Ming. Lu Ming received it and scanned it with his spiritual sense. He discovered that the shattering sky shuttle was already inside the storage ring. In addition to that, there was a huge jade box with a pile of dragon bones and a jade bottle. It must be the 9 drops of brilliant sacred true dragon's blood essence. Lu Ming put it away and brought his fists together. "Thank you, senior." "Don't mention it. Little brother, be careful. I'm afraid someone is watching you," the old man reminded. Lu Ming smiled and scanned the surroundings. He discovered many pairs of eyes were looking at Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming and the others were using voice transmission, the people around them couldn't hear what Lu Ming and the others were saying. However, Lu Ming had mentioned that he wanted to buy a shattering sky shuttle with 5 times the speed. Even a sacred realm expert would be envious of such a treasure. Also, a deacon of the Supreme Treasure Pavilion had come later. So what exactly was the thing that Lu Ming had taken out? Why would they need the deacon of the Supreme Treasure Pavilion to take action? Lu Ming definitely had a great treasure on him. Many people thought so, and their eyes flashed with a fiery light. "Junior brother, it looks like we're going to be targeted again," Tian Chue said with a sharp glint in his eyes. "Isn't that perfect? Wouldn't it be easier to kill a bunch of them before the treasure sorting convention?" Lu Ming smiled faintly. Of course, they were also communicating via voice transmission. Tian Chue and Xuanixin's eyes turned vicious. "Let's go outside and block them." "Good. That Lu Ming must have some precious treasure on him. It's ours." While Lu Ming's group of 3 were communicating via voice transmission, the others were also communicating in secret. Then, a group of people quietly exited the Supreme Treasure Pavilion and waited on the path that Lu Ming and the others had to pass. The 3 of them continued their stroll. Tian Chue and Xuanixin bought some things respectively. The 3 of them had bought what they needed and were satisfied. They left the Supreme Treasure Pavilion and headed in the direction of the Divine Dragon Valley. As soon as the 3 of them left the Supreme Treasure Pavilion, A group of people quietly followed Lu Ming's group. They're following us. Xuanixin sneered. I hope they're from the Heavenly Divinity sect. Lu Ming said with a smile. If there were people from the Heavenly God sect, he would be able to kill them openly. He and the Heavenly Divinity sect were already mortal enemies. If he could kill more of them, why not? The people behind did not attack immediately. They kept following them, obviously wanting to get further away from the Supreme Treasure Pavilion. Lu Ming and the other two flew forward leisurely. Soon, they saw a group of people in black robes in front of them, blocking their path. Lu Ming's group of 3 stopped. The people behind them also surrounded them. You're finally here. Lu Ming, hand over your storage ring. A person in front said coldly. Robbing again. You've been doing this every day. You did it 3 years ago and now you're doing it again. You really haven't changed. Tian Shui grinned. If you want it, come and get it yourselves. Lu Ming said indifferently. Lu Ming, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. There's no need to wait for you to fight the Divine Sun. I'll kill you now. The person said coldly. Then a few people stepped out and closed in on Lu Ming. Lu Ming, he's ours. There were also people behind them. Junior brother Lu Ming, wait a moment. Let me have some fun first. Tian Shui's eyes became more ferocious. Tian Shui, you deal with the front. I'll deal with the back. Xuanixin said. A layer of dragon scales began to appear on her body. She took a step forward and rushed to the back. A dragon's roar was heard. Xuanixin turned into a snow dragon. Her body was pure white and emitted a shocking cold aura. She clawed out. A black-robed man of LV9 martial royal realm was killed by Xuanixin's claw. Tian Shui shouted. A huge hammer appeared in his hand. He smashed out and smashed a black-robed man of LV9 martial royal realm into a meat patty. Half-saints, they're half-saints. Someone exclaimed. Kill! Tian Shui and Xuanixin shouted. Their killing intent surged and they attacked the black-robed men like a storm. Screams were heard as a few more people were killed. Half-saints, so what? Another black-robed man rushed out, emitting a shocking aura. Half-saints, they're all half-saints. Whoosh! The people behind them emitted a shocking poisonous aura and attacked Xuanixin. The experts in front were bathed in sacred light and their killing intent was cold. Heavenly God sect, poison sect, it's really you. Tian Shui and Xuanixin shouted. Boom, boom. Terrifying collisions were heard. Tian Shui and Xuanixin were very powerful. Their attacks were wild and they forced their opponents to retreat. But soon after, even more people joined in. This time, there were at least 100 people surrounding them, and there were still many who hadn't made a move yet. Those who attacked later were even stronger. Lu Ming even saw that a few of them had the power of laws flowing around them. They were second-stage half-saints. Tian Shui and Xuanixin were surrounded by 6 or 7 experts. They were all half-saints, and some of them were second-stage half-saints. Finally, Tian Shui and Xuanixin were stopped. Heavenly God sect and poison sect, since you've been exposed, why are you still hiding? Show your true selves. Lu Ming stood in the air and said lightly. His voice spread throughout the area. So what if we show our true selves? Someone said coldly. Then he pulled his black robe and revealed his true appearance. Then, more people took off their black robes and revealed their true faces. Lu Ming glanced at them. Many of them were older. Most of them were middle-aged. Only a few of them were younger. They were from the Poison Sect and Heavenly God Sect. Lu Ming, hand over your storage ring and I'll let you live for a few more days. Chapter 1676. Lu Ming sneered, cut the crap. If you have the ability, then come and take it. Arrogant. I want to see how far you've grown in 3 years. A first-stage half-saint from the Celestial Divine Sect stepped forward. A spear of divine punishment appeared and pierced towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes were as cold as a blade. A saint weapon appeared in his hand. The sacred weapon battle sword slashed out. The sword gleam was earth-shattering. The other party's divine punishment spear shattered under Lu Ming's sword gleam. The sword gleam did not stop. That person was slashed into two halves and died instantly. Kill. Lu Ming said coldly. He stepped forward and appeared in front of another first-stage half-saint from the celestial divine sect. He slashed out with his sword again. The man was frightened and frantically retreated. However, Lu Ming's sword light slashed through his body. His spiritual deity had been destroyed by Lu Ming. Then, Lu Ming stepped forward and appeared in front of another second-stage half-saint. Die for me! The second-stage half-saint roared. The law circulated and holy light erupted. He launched a terrifying attack towards Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming's sword slashed through everything. The opponent's attack collapsed instantly. The man followed in the footsteps of the previous two and was killed by Lu Ming in a single slash. The others gasped and retreated in shock. 1/1 kill. 1/1 kill. 1/1 kill. Whether it was a first-stage half-saint or a second-stage half-saint, they couldn't resist Lu Ming. They were killed one by Lu Ming. At this time, the battle here had alarmed many people in the distance. Many people rushed over after hearing the commotion. It's Lu Ming. Lu Ming is being besieged. It's the Celestial Divine Sect and the Poison Desire Sect. These two sects really won't rest until Lu Ming is dead. They fight to the death whenever they meet. So many experts. Lu Ming is finished. Many figures flew over. When they saw so many experts surrounding Lu Ming and the others, they were shocked. Attack together. People of the Desire Poison Sect, attack together and kill Lu Ming, shouted someone crazily in the Heavenly Divine Sect. That person was still wearing his black robe. Kill. Let's attack together. The remaining experts from the Desire Poison Sect and the Celestial Divinity Sect numbered more than 20. All of them were half-saint experts. 5 of them were at the second stage of the half-saint realm. All of them charged towards Lu Ming. All kinds of attacks flooded towards Lu Ming from both the front and back. Suddenly, from the left, a few terrifying saber gleams slashed toward Lu Ming. Every saber gleam was filled with demonic aura. People from the Sky Universe Demon Sect are also here to join in the fun. Lu Ming's eyes emitted a shocking killing intent. Lu Ming's figure moved, dodging the attacks from 3 directions. Then, like an eagle, he pounced towards the experts of the Celestial Divinity Sect. The battle sword in his hand slashed downwards. 100-meter-long saber light slashed towards the experts of the Celestial Divinity Sect. The terrifying might of the attack shocked the experts of the Celestial Divinity Sect. Join forces and block it. Someone shouted. More than 10 half-saints of the Celestial Divinity Sect joined forces to attack. More than 10 beams of saint light gathered together and shot towards Lu Ming. However, when Lu Ming's saber light landed, it broke through the saint light and slashed downwards. In an instant, 3 half-saints were killed by Lu Ming. Then, the battle sword slashed horizontally and killed another 2 experts. Retreat! Quickly retreat! The remaining people were almost scared to death. They frantically retreated. One of them took out a saint weapon. It was a small mountain and blocked in front of him. Clang! Lu Ming's sword slashed down on the small mountain and sent it flying. It crashed into that person's body. That person was directly smashed into a meat patty by his own saint weapon. In just a few breaths of time, Lu Ming had killed 6 half-saints of the Celestial Divinity Sect. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. Lu Ming's battle strength had become even more terrifying. It was unknown how much stronger he was compared to 3 years ago. In his hands, half-saints were like ants. Kill! Then, Lu Ming stepped into the void and charged toward the people from the Desire Poison Sect. With a loud shout, the divine sword art erupted. More than 10 powerful figures from the Desire Poison Sect screamed miserably. Then, the sword gleam slashed and more than 10 people from the Desire Poison Sect were killed. Their poisonous bodies were completely useless in front of Lu Ming. Their souls were directly destroyed. Retreat! Retreat! The remaining people, including the ones fighting Tian Chue and Xuanixin, were almost scared out of their wits. How could they dare to stay? They frantically fled in all directions. Shirguan, since you're here and want to take my interspatial ring, then there's no need for you to leave. Lu Ming stared at a black-robed man on the celestial divinity sect's side and stepped towards him. That person had shouted and attacked just now. Lu Ming had recognized him as Shirguan. Shirguan turned pale with fright and fled frantically. However, Lu Ming's speed was astonishing. He caught up with Shirguan in a few steps. He threw a punch and the fist force crushed Shirguan. Shirguan attacked with all his might, resisting with all his might. However, under Lu Ming's punch, he was sent flying. The black robe on his body exploded, revealing his true appearance. It was indeed Shirguan. His face was filled with shock and disbelief. Initially, he had brought experts here to rob Lu Ming of his interspatial ring. He had not expected Lu Ming's strength to be so terrifying. The first and second stage half-martial sacred realm cultivators were as vulnerable as babies in front of Lu Ming. A large number of them were slain with a single attack, resulting in a great loss. Although none of them had a high-level spiritual body, Lu Ming's strength was too terrifying. And now Lu Ming was trying to kill him. He was no match against Qin Nan. 3 years ago, Lu Ming was only a 4th-layer martial dominator realm cultivator. He could only run for his life. However, now that he was in Lu Ming's hands, he might not even be able to escape. In just 3 years' time, the tables had turned. Kill! Lu Ming snapped coldly as the battle sword appeared in his hand once again and slashed at Shirguan. No! Shirguan desperately tried to defend himself. Stop it! A loud roar came from afar, causing the sky to rumble. However, Lu Ming did not stop there. He slashed down with all his might. Shirguan was killed by Lu Ming in despair. In the distance, a sacred light flashed and a handsome young man appeared in the sky. He looked at Lu Ming with intense killing intent. It's Luo Shuihan. Luo Shuihan is here. This is going to be interesting. Exclamations could be heard from all around. Junior brother, be careful. This is Luo Shuihan, the most powerful genius in the Zhangzhou after the Divine Sun. He's another peerless genius of the Celestial God sect. Tian Shui and Xuaningxin came to Lu Ming's side. Xuaningxin whispered. Lu Ming nodded. At the treasure identification meet 3 years ago, there was a new unparalleled genius in the Celestial Deity sect. At the treasure identification meet, he was second only to the Son of God and ranked second among the top 10 geniuses. Later, the Divine Sun broke through to the Saint Realm and was removed from the ranking. That person rose to first place. That genius was Luo Shuihan. Chapter 1677. Luo Shuihan swept his gaze across the crowd. When he realized that Lu Ming had killed so many experts, the killing intent in his eyes intensified. Lu Ming, how dare you kill so many of my heavenly god sect's people? What punishment do you deserve? Luo Shuihan said coldly. What punishment do I deserve? What a joke. You people from the heavenly god sect stopped me halfway and tried to steal my storage ring. Don't you deserve to die? Lu Ming smiled faintly. Nonsense. How could my heavenly god sect's people do such a thing? Luo Shuihan shouted. He then turned to the remaining people of the heavenly god sect and said, Is what Lu Ming said true? Did you try to steal his storage ring? There's no such thing. Lu Ming is talking nonsense. He harbors a grudge against the Celestial Deity sect and attacked us for no reason. The brothers from the Desire Poison sect can testify to this, right? A middle-aged man from the Heavenly God sect shouted as he looked at the remaining people of the Desire Poison sect. That's right. It's true. Lu Ming has lost his mind and attacked us all of a sudden. The people of the Desire Poison sect also shouted. This was completely a blatant lie. Lu Ming, what else do you have to say? A life for a life. Luo Shuihan sneered. What do I need to say? What else do I need to say to a group of shameless people like you? Just kill them. You just want to find a reason to attack. Why do you need to talk so much nonsense? Yes, I did it. If I see anyone from the Heavenly God sect in the future, I'll kill them all. Hurry up and kill them. Lu Ming's face was full of disdain as he shouted. Very good. Very good. Then you can go to hell. Luo Shuihan's holy light spread out and turned into a belt of light that surrounded his body. He looked incomparably sacred. Although Lu Ming's combat strength was very strong, he still didn't put him in his eyes. Those who had been killed by Lu Ming were nothing in Luo Shuihan's eyes. Luo Shuihan had a superior earth spiritual body, and his cultivation had reached the peak of the third stage of the half-saint realm. He was the leader of the top 10 evildoers in the Tsang state, and none of the geniuses at the same level as him were a match for him. Normally, he could kill a large number of first and second stage half-saints with a single slap. The others looked on nervously. Many people believed that Lu Ming would not stand a chance against Luo Shuihan and would be killed. Was Lu Ming going to die at the hands of Luo Shuihan before he could challenge the Son of God? Bang! Bang! Luo Shuihan stepped forward, and the holy light became more and more intense. Luo Shuihan, I'll fight you. At this moment, a voice sounded out, followed by a dragon's roar that shook the 9 heavens. A purple light flashed, and a purple figure appeared in front of Luo Shuihan. Boom! Luo Shuihan struck out with his palm. Holy light burst out and the law flowed. A dragon's roar came from the purple figure's body. A purple dragon claw shot out and collided with Luo Shuihan's claw. An earth-shattering explosion sounded out. Both the purple figure and Luo Shuihan couldn't help but retreat. However, Luo Shuihan only took 3 steps back, while the purple figure took 4 to 5 steps back. Senior brother Zi Feng. Lu Ming whispered. The figure that suddenly appeared was Zi Feng, one of the top 10 evildoers in the Tsang state. Zi Feng, if you want to stop me, I'll kill you first and then Lu Ming. Luo Shuihan roared and charged at Zi Feng. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Zi Feng shouted and charged at Luo Shuihan. The two of them engaged in a fierce battle. Lu Ming was dumbfounded and helpless. He was going to take this opportunity to kill Luo Shuihan and weaken the strength of the Heavenly God sect. This way, the Divine Dragon Valley would have a higher chance of getting first place in the treasure sorting convention. That way, the fragments of the prison-suppressing steel and the other treasure would belong to the Divine Dragon Valley, and Lu Ming would have a chance to get the prison-suppressing steel fragment. Just as he was about to make a move, Zi Feng rushed over, which made Lu Ming speechless. Zi Feng and Luo Shuihan engaged in a fierce battle. Zi Feng's cultivation was also in the third stage of the half-saint realm. He had a jar of law body, and his spiritual body was also a superior earth spiritual body. Although he was no match for Luo Shuihan, it would not be easy for Luo Shuihan to defeat Zi Feng. In the blink of an eye, the two of them had exchanged dozens of blows. You must die for killing the people of the Heavenly God sect today. At this moment, an old voice came from afar. An old man in a white robe stepped on the void, and like a flash of white light, he arrived at the scene in an instant. His powerful and vast aura immediately locked onto Lu Ming. A saint aura filled the air. He was a saint. This battle had attracted the attention of the saints of the Heavenly God sect. The saint of the Heavenly God sect stood high in the sky, looking down from above. His terrifying saint aura filled the air, making many people feel pressured, and they could not help but retreat. Lu Ming is finished. With a saint attacking, he's even more doomed. That's right. A saint is even stronger than Luo Shuihan. Many people shouted. Bright Saint Lesser success? Lu Ming's lips curled into a disdainful smile, and a sharp light flashed in his eyes. Luo Shuihan was blocked. It was not bad to kill a saint. Old man, you're already so old. How dare you attack the younger generation? Do you think there's no one in the Dragon God Valley? A loud roar was heard. Then, a tall old man rushed over and stood in front of the saint of the Heavenly God sect. He also exuded a vast saint aura. The Saint Realm Elder of the Dragon God Valley had arrived. The Saint Realm Elder of the Dragon God Valley exuded a powerful saint aura, blocking the saint of the Heavenly God sect and Lu Ming behind him. Lu Ming was dumbfounded. No way! Don't do this! Let me do it! Lu Ming roared in his heart. He was speechless. Previously, Luo Shuihan was blocked by Zifeng. Now, a bright Saint Lesser Success Saint was blocked by the Saint Realm Elder of the Dragon God Valley. It had completely ruined Lu Ming's plan. Lu Ming's step it. With me here, this old man can't do anything to you. The Saint Realm Elder of the Dragon God Valley said. Lu Ming sighed. The people around them were also discussing. Oh my god, Lu Ming is so lucky. The Dragon God Valley happened to have an expert nearby. Otherwise, he would be finished. That's right. He's too lucky. However, he won't be able to go far by relying on luck. He will eventually meet the elites of the Heavenly God sect in the Treasure Sorting Convention. Even if he doesn't die in the Treasure Sorting Convention, he will still die in the battle with the Divine Sun. The Saint of the Heavenly God sect looked at the Saint of the Dragon God Valley coldly. However, he did not attack. The Saint of the Dragon God Valley was not weaker than him. If they fought, both sides would be injured. Boom. On the other side, Zifeng and Luo Shuihan both retreated after exchanging a blow. The difference was that Luo Shuihan was calm and composed, while Zifeng was panting heavily. His aura was weak. Luo Shuihan's eyes were filled with reluctance. It would be difficult to kill Lu Ming today. Lu Ming, do you only know how to hide behind others? You can hide now, but you can't hide forever. You have nowhere to hide in the Treasure Sorting Convention. This time, I will make sure that the people of the Dragon God Valley will never return. Starting from the Treasure Sorting Convention in 10 days, I will let you know the consequences of offending the Heavenly God sect. Chapter 1678. Let's go! The saints of the Heavenly Divinity sect harumphed and left with the rest of the Heavenly Divinity sect. The people of the Desire Poison sect and the people of the Sky Demonic sect who had launched a sneak attack also left quietly. Lu Ming, are you alright? The Saint Realm Elder of the Divine Dragon Valley asked Lu Ming. Elder, I'm fine. Lu Ming replied helplessly. Alright, let's go back first. The Heavenly Divinity sect, Desire Poison sect, and the other sects will join forces at this treasure meeting. You must be prepared. The Elder of the Divine Dragon Valley said and flew back to the Divine Dragon Valley. Lu Ming, Tianxue, Xuaningxin, and Zifeng followed behind. The Divine Dragon Valley will be in danger at the treasure meeting in 10 days. Zifeng sighed. How many top geniuses will there be in the Divine Dragon Valley? Lu Ming asked. The top geniuses he was referring to were those with peak 6th layer martial royal realm and superior earth spiritual bodies. Such geniuses would be able to influence the outcome of the treasure meeting. Only one. That's a far cry from 3 years ago. Zifeng sighed. Lu Ming frowned. The Divine Dragon Valley would be in danger if that was the case. They would definitely be targeted by the Heavenly Divinity sect, Desire Poison sect, and the other sects at the treasure meeting. The Divine Dragon Valley would not be able to contend against them and might not even be able to enter the top 10. They would lose the right to participate in the treasure meeting. Senior Brother Zifeng, I recommend someone who will be able to suppress the other top geniuses at the treasure meeting. Lu Ming's heart stirred as he thought of Su Lei. Su Lei had obtained the inheritance of Gusu City's ancestral land, and her mystical Yin dragon body was extremely terrifying. Lu Ming estimated that unless one had a heavenly spiritual body, they would not be a match for Su Lei. If Su Lei participated, she would be able to suppress everyone. Suppress the other top geniuses? Zifeng's eyes lit up. How could he not know that there was such a genius in the Divine Dragon Valley? However, since Lu Ming said so, he must be confident. Alright, I'll recommend someone else, Zifeng said. As they chatted, they soon arrived at the outpost in Dragon God Valley. As soon as Lu Ming returned to the outpost in Dragon God Valley, he ran into two familiar faces, Qiu Yingying and Qiu Hao. Qiu Yingying was very happy to see Lu Ming. Yingying, congratulations, your cultivation has reached the 6th layer martial dominator realm. Lu Ming smiled faintly. The speed of Qiu Yingying's breakthrough was beyond Lu Ming's expectation. She had already reached LV6 martial royal realm. Qiu Yingying only had an ordinary spiritual body. Lu Ming thought that Qiu Yingying had once obtained an inheritance in the Tsang Emperor's secret realm. Perhaps it was related to this. Suddenly, Lu Ming exclaimed and stared at Qiu Yingying carefully. Lu Ming, what are you looking at? Qiu Yingying blushed as Lu Ming stared at her. She said unnaturally. Senior brother Zifeng, 7th senior brother, 8th senior sister, please go back first. I have something to say to Yingying. Lu Ming said to Zifeng, Tianchue, and the others. Hi, junior brother, I understand. I'll leave now. Tianchue laughed and left with Xuaningxin with an I understand expression. Zifeng smiled and left as well. Oh, I forgot that I have something important to do. You guys go ahead, I'm leaving too. Qiu Hao slapped his head and winked at Qiu Yingying. He then flew into the air and left as well. Only Lu Ming and Qiu Yingying were left. Qiu Yingying's heart began to beat rapidly. She did not dare to look at Lu Ming. Lu Ming rubbed his nose and was speechless. It seemed that he had been misunderstood. Yingying, let's talk somewhere else. Lu Ming said as he walked toward an open space by the side. Qiu Yingying's heart beat faster. What does Lu Ming want to talk to me about? Does he like me? At this moment, Qiu Yingying's mind was filled with various thoughts. Yingying, was there a soul cultivation technique in the inheritance you obtained? Lu Ming asked after they arrived at the empty space. Qiu Yingying was stunned at first, then she nodded. So that was what Lu Ming wanted to talk about. It seemed that she was wrong. She did not know why, but she felt a sense of loss. As expected, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Lu Ming's soul power was extremely strong and he had also cultivated a soul cultivation technique. When he looked at Qiu Yingying, he found that Qiu Yingying's soul power was extraordinarily strong. Qiu Yingying's cultivation was at LV6 Martial Royal Realm, but her soul power was far stronger than that. It was even close to LV8 Martial Royal Realm. Such soul power was not something that ordinary people could possess. Therefore, Lu Ming immediately thought of the inheritance Qiu Yingying had obtained in the Emperor Tsong's secret realm. Yingying, does the soul cultivation technique you obtained have any offensive skills? Lu Ming asked. Qiu Yingying calmed herself down and nodded. Use it on me. Let me feel it. Use it with all your strength. Lu Ming said. Qiu Yingying nodded. She knew that Lu Ming was much stronger than her, so she did not hold back. Qiu Yingying's eyes began to change and became pitch black. At this moment, Lu Ming realized that his surroundings had changed. It had become a purgatory. One by one, the purgatory fiends roared and charged toward Lu Ming. Illusion. Lu Ming muttered. Qiu Yingying's soul attack was an illusion. She used her powerful soul power to affect her opponent's soul and make him hallucinate. This kind of attack was mysterious and dangerous. Once a person fell into an illusion, he would be at the mercy of others. Lu Ming whispered. His soul power shook slightly. The scene around him shattered like glass and returned to normal. Then Qiu Yingying's delicate body trembled and she retreated. Her eyes returned to normal, but her face was pale. Yingying, are you okay? Lu Ming stepped forward and appeared beside Qiu Yingying. He asked with concern. Lu Ming's soul power was so powerful that it broke Qiu Yingying's illusion with a slight shake of his soul power. Even Qiu Yingying herself suffered from the backlash. I'm fine. It's just that my soul power shook a little. Lu Ming, your soul power is so powerful. Qiu Yingying said with amazement in her eyes. When her soul power came into contact with Lu Ming's soul power, she felt that Lu Ming's soul power was like a boundless ocean. Yingying, your soul attack is quite magical. I'll teach you a soul attack too, which will help your soul to rank up to the 8th layer Martial Dominator realm, or even higher. With that, no one below the high-level Martial Dominator realm in the Tsong continent would stand a chance against you. Lu Ming said. Really, really? Qiu Yingying asked. Of course it's real. Look at this. A demon crystal appeared in Lu Ming's hand. This is a demon crystal? You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.